Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson, Conrad Venter here for the Apex Racing UK Diabetes UK charity event. Conrad, I'm going to hand it over straight to you here. You're the man who set all this up. What a great turnout we've already got today. Raised a lot of money for charity. Just need to obviously thank you for organising all this, but just tell us this event.
Well, it's, we held a charity event for cancer research a little while ago, and we raised quite a lot of money. And it's only sort of in the last year where I became aware of the sort of the underrated kind of disease that diabetes is. I mean, I lost a family member as a consequence of it, and it sort of gives you a lot of food for thought. And I thought, there's so many people that suffer from it, and I say that we normally seem to think that all it is that people are limited by eating a couple of cream cakes here and there, but it's so much more than that, and it's a very destructive disease. So I thought it might be a good idea just try and put on an event to raise a couple of pounds for Diabetes UK, and it's another good way to support another charity.
It's a two-part event really. The first part, obviously we have this event today, which is at Monza, 3-hour race around the combined circuit, but of course you've got to follow that up as well.
Yeah, of course, all these we've had a fantastic response from the iRacing community. When I first opened up the thread on the iRacing forums for people to start entering, I thought I already had about £120 in donations, but they've really stepped up and added another over £450 to the pot. And of course, there is, like I said, there's a second part, which is my bit, and that means, well, I've got to run the Cardiff Half Marathon in October, and I've got to complete that in order for the money to actually go to the charity. So all these guys are in the race; they've done their bit. Now I've got to do my bit as well.
And so, how's the preparation coming along for that?
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
We had a little chat the other day. We know you've done some, so yeah, I look forward to seeing you complete that. I'm sure you will, no doubt. Plenty of motivation there to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's only a little bit of suffering that I've got to go through for the money to go to a great cause. And I mean, the added bonus for these guys racing today is that they'll have the privilege of being able to follow my progress on the day if they so choose to do so. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll try my best, my absolute best, to post some selfies on social media as the suffering increases.
Well, I personally just want to thank you for putting it on. We organised a lot, so to get it to this stage, so we've got a bona fideable event is awesome. A lot of hard work, so yeah, thanks for that. Big shout out from everyone taking part as well for supporting Conrad. So it's yeah, awesome to see the iRacing community come together and support these type of events as well. So this second one we've put on, and it's been a great turnout there. So great mixture of drivers out there as well. So we've got obviously, as you can imagine, a lot of drivers from and around the UK, but a lot of Australians, Americans, Europeans, everyone really taking part today. Should make for some interesting racing in this. This is a tricky layout as well. 2 minutes 40 seconds for a lap time. Lots of slipstreaming going on. You've done a bit of testing this week. What's the demands of this combined circuit?
We had a couple of guys practicing through the week, and I think some of them were, especially the guys running in the rough, were struggling with the heat in the rear tires, and especially the right rear tire. You would know from the season we just did in the IndyCar around the ovals that we had trouble with, especially if you start using the weight jacker in the car, with the right rear warming up and getting too hot. I think these guys have got a similar problem for some reason. Sorry, I said the left rear tires are just heating up immensely around that oval, and that gives them a lot of problems through the rest of the track.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the comments on the forum, while the guys have been working on the setup and things like that. Definitely appears to be the tyres overheating is the main issue. Of course, we've got a new tyre model as well, new build come out just this week, so drivers just trying to get used to the version 6 of the tyre model. So I think the feedback has generally been a little bit positive. They're still waiting to get the excessive heat sensitivity under control, but for the most part, this a step back in the right direction, I think.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of laps on the new tyre model, but yeah, the feedback once you sort of get the hang of it, it would appear that the guys are pretty happy with it.
So we're obviously doing qualifying now. There's about 20 seconds left to it, so I think drivers will be coming across, maybe try and get their final laps in now. Just got Cam Stark up on the screen. He's got current pole sitter Sebastian Joe behind him. So they're going to get one more attempt in, I think, just if they get across the line. That's going to be pretty close for Seb. Is he going to squeeze through? Yeah, he has done. Yeah, so we've got just a few minutes left. 3 minutes 18 the clock counter puts on. Nice to see iRacing we're on the ball with that, with the combined layout, because it's a tricky lap and a long lap as well, and drivers have got to stay on it the whole way around here.
Yeah, it's a lot of time to gain and lose around the oval section. So yeah, it's not a bit of a track where you think you can relax and take it easy and just switch off for a few seconds. You've got to get your line right through there, otherwise you can lose a lot of lap time. Yeah,
and just having a look at the teammates just slipstreaming each other now, but I think Cam's pulled out of it, so it's just going to be on to Seb to see if he can improve his time. We've got a few guys just coming through as well. We'll just let everybody finish up their laps before we take a definitive look at the grid. Of course, we've got a ticker at the top for anyone who wants to keep track of what's going on. A few drivers out there trying to do it without the slipstream, and it definitely seems like those that have been working together have made it to the top. So Seb, Cam, Marcus, Tom Ward, we saw those two doing a lot of drafting together in Q. So I think if the teams get together in the race, we'll see a lot of that, actually trying to help each other along and pull them away from the chasing cars.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. We've got a bit of a combination of road and oval racing going on here, so the guys can definitely help each other out, especially around the oval. But it's also going to make it pretty interesting watching for when they eventually get down to what we normally know as turn 1. We saw them earlier in practice going 3 wide down the main straight and going into that corner, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, 3 into 1 doesn't usually go, and we know that's probably the trickiest corner for any sort of start of a race. At this time we'll obviously be coming off of a flat out oval section, so we'll be hitting at even crazier speed, so who knows what we're going to see down there as Antonio's just about to finish his lap up, currently 16th. Is he going to improve on his 2 minutes 44.8?
And you've got Sebastian right on his heels as well.
And it was a 2:44.9, so it just doesn't quite improve. Neither did Seb as well. Right, qualifying basically done. I don't think we've got anybody else out there. No, we've not. So, Conrad, would you do the honours and take us through the grid?
Yeah, Sebastian Job managed to clinch pole position there over the number 64 car, Friction Racing, by a mere 0.05 of a second. In third place, we've got the Excelsior Racing Team. Fourth place, we've got the number 69 Friction Racing car. Yeah, and then fifth place, Cam Stark, very special livery for him. Sixth place is Clive Lawrence in the Apex Racing TV car, and then seventh and eighth we've got the two KRF Motorsports cars. Ninth place, number 41 Friction Racing car. And running up the top 10, we've got, who is down there? The TD Racing BMW, the number 737 car.
Yeah, is that
And,
the RRTV, is it? Yeah, Andrew there, so yeah. It looks like a fairly tight grid. I mean, you got to remember this lap is 2 minutes 40 long. The draft in the race is going to keep everyone bunched up. Scouting through the rest of the grid now. Actually, from sort of 10th back, there's not an awful lot of time between any of the drivers out there. So, a couple of people joined a little bit late. Ryan Walker, we know he's actually pretty tasty in these cars, so expect him to pick up a bit of time. Brendan Till's there as well, 24th place. So, you guys not setting a time, but hopefully they'll make their way to the grid for this race.
That's also good to see. They don't have to complete an entire lap behind the pace car.
Yeah, could you imagine? It's another 10 minutes before the race starts. We'll go to a quick advert break.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Just want to give a big shout out to everybody who's tuned into this live as well. We all know that this is a long event, but we also have the Le Mans 24 hours just got underway. I dare say people are probably watching both, but yeah, thank you for supporting us by watching us live as well.
Yeah, and if we'll see how the race gets on. We've got a couple of prizes to give away as well, and the only set one is for the winner of the race. And apart from that, we'll sort of look about through who's in the race itself and who's watching the event on YouTube, and then we'll give out some iRacing credits.
Great shot as everybody starts to form up behind the pace car there, getting underway. Such an iconic circuit, Monza, first ever broadcast I've done here, so it'll be awesome to see how this all pans out.
Yeah, we were, while they were in practice earlier, we were sort of looking through the various amounts of camera angles that we're getting. And there's definitely some epic shots to be had, and I think I made a comment on the cars as they come through around the oval, but you've got a whole bunch of these GT3 cars together. It just looks awesome.
Can't wait for Istvan to do his work on the camera pack as well. He managed just to come up with some epic shots, so that'll just make this all the better.
Right, and they are rounding the final corner. We're about to get going.
The Apex Racing UK Diabetes UK charity event 2015 is away. Sebastian, wow, we've just the friction racers, just racing drivers just sleeping there a little bit behind him. Let him get the jump, but I guess with the slipstream they'll soon be on him very, very quickly. Clive Lawrence looking to go around the outside of Cam Stark as well, up on the oval. Should see a fair bit of side-by-side driving through this this first lap.
Yeah, it's already a pack at the front that's kind of broken away off the start, and they've got Tim Ballinger from TD Racing just hitting the front of the second pack.
Yeah, I'm not sure quite what happened. Like you say, Tim Ballinger, and then behind them you've got Andrew and Lee Thompson. So they were definitely slow to get away, and like I say, they've already lost 3.5-4 seconds as well. And even there's a little pack that's broken away behind it as well. So, yeah. Oh, look at this front gaggle though, going into turn 1, or what we would know as turn 1. Oh, side by side, perhaps 5 deep there. Everybody braking nice and sensibly. Got 3 hours of racing to do.
As well.
So, good driving from everybody there. Just give each other the room they needed.
Yeah, there was somebody giving somebody else a slight little nudge down there, but I think they came through there without any major damage. But yeah, very respectful, clean driving through that fast chicane.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll probably take a lap or so for the drivers to filter themselves out in single file. Actually, it looks like they've just about got there now as they go through the first of the Lesmo turns.
We've got a BMW that was in 10th position when he came across the line. Andrew Kanowski from TV Racing. It was a pretty banged up BMW. I suspect we might see him in the pits at the end of this lap. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, it looks like we might have also lost on who are in the pits at the moment. We must have missed that accident. Let's see if we can jump back and see what went on. Colin Cunniff, Tim Mawson, Darren Kirk, all involved in something. Something in the banking in the oval section. Let's just jump back a bit further, see what it was. Colin definitely involved in that big time. So let's just watch it again from the start. Try and pick up on Colin. That's basically where Colin is where the pack broke apart. They were too wide going into the chicane. Massive collision. That's why the pack split. Huge wreck, Conrad, on the first lap. So lots of cars involved. And actually, as the banking there brought Colin down as well, a few other cars were caught up in that. So yeah, disastrous start, and really has split the pack apart.
That looks something like you would get in the fixed NASCAR series.
Yeah, we've got a few more cars seem to be stationary right now as well. So Lee Thompson, Bradley Matheson as well. Let's see if we can jump back, because the front runners are having a good battle as well. So we'll jump back to that in a second. But let's see what happened to Lee and Bradley. Bit of damage there. Does that mean that we're going to jump into the pits this time to get the car repaired? Yeah, so we've missed that. Let's go back a bit further.
Yeah, all these drivers and teams have actually fast repairs at their disposal. So although that first corner incident is an inconvenience, by no means a race ending kind of thing.
Yeah, Lee's already got damage. I'm guessing he must have got some damage involved in that first corner pile up, should we say. Definitely slipping back, and I think him and Bradley actually and Lopez they're just all pitted to get some repairs. They got fast repairs, so just come in, so I think that's all that's happened. Nothing beyond that. Let's jump back live to the action. Taking a quick look at the order as it stands right now. There's been a lot of changes gone around. Sebastian Joe made his way up to the lead, closely followed by Cam Stark, Tom Ward, and then Jason DeVries there in fourth place. Marcus Hamilton, who was in the lead when we started looking at the replays, down to fifth, closely followed by Clive Lawrence, Lance Hawes there. That's the top 7 that have broke away. So you've got Zach in 8th place, just 2 seconds back, but he actually has closed up because he overtook Tim Ballinger, I think. And those guys slowly working their way back up to this main pack.
Oh, this certainly going to have some interesting watching in around this track. Like I say, Marcus Hamilton leading at the end of that last lap, down to 5th at the start of this current lap. And they're using the draft well, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't see this pack breaking apart until we see pit stops, to be honest. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide. I thought it for a moment. Just quite a lot of room, to be honest, down that back straight. So that's the place to do it. But yeah, Stark makes his way up to the lead.
The guys at the front are being very sensible. Jason DeVries actually backed off going into that second part of the oval, and I think it's down to this the first chicane where they're going to be looking to make their moves. Jason DeVries looking on the outside of Cam.
Yeah, they're going to be 3 wide into the braking zone. Sebastian gets out of it. Tom Ward breaks a little bit early too. Saw that all happening. Hamilton still in 5th. Conrad, Clive
All
in the
right.
first of the roughs there as well. So I'm surprised to see so many McLarens up the front. I would have thought we would have seen a fair mixture. Certainly the BMW very popular in previous seasons, but it seems the McLaren's got the legs as Cam Stark goes for a move. There's a little bit of contact between him and Jason there. They give each other just enough to get through the chicane. Sebastian checks up. So does the rest of the pack behind, and they carry on racing.
Yeah, Clive is hanging on at the back there. He's got a little bit of damage on to the back of his car. I mean, it's top 5 cars are all McLarens. Or well, you've got top 4 cars McLaren, and you've got Jason de Vries in the Ford GT. But yeah, it's surprising about the McLaren. I think it's one of the cars that takes the most fuel as well. So they're definitely going to be running a little bit heavier at the start, but they are lightning.
Zach's starting to close up in the KRF motorsport car there as well. He's closely followed by Tim Ballinger, the first of the BMW drivers. So Tim needs to stay in the draft as much as he can, because it seems the BMW just lacking that straight line speed, and around this combined circuit it's really really making a difference.
They've got Zach is close up right to the back of Lance Horse now, and they are right with Clive as well in the Apex Racing TV car. I think the more these front 5 or 6 cars are giving each other space and playing Mr. Nice Guy around the track, the more it's going to allow a couple of guys a little bit further back to catch up with them.
Yeah, they're exchanging positions in second place. This is letting Jason pull away, but you can just see the effect of the draft. What was nearly 1 second when he went into that oval turn there, all of a sudden Jason's on his back foot. He's got cars all over him, going up the inside right now. He's going to be 3 wide, bang in the middle, nothing you can do. Stark having a look underneath. They are 3 wide through the oval section right now. Oh, big crash. Just take a little look at that back.
Cam Stark has immediately got on the chat and apologized. I was watching him as that unfolded, and it just looks like he was running right at the bottom of the oval bit and got a wheel on the grass, and that sent him up into the top part of the oval. And,
yeah, exactly that. Just see him get loose. Just took those few with him as well. Few cars involved in that. Let's see who managed to survive. I mean, interestingly, we've got Tom. Let's jump back live. Sorry, see where we're at. We've got Tom Ward out front by a long way now. Sebastian Job in second place, 6 seconds back. I don't know what the state of his car is like at the moment. Conrad, Tim Ballinger now up to 3rd. Clive Lawrence, we saw him just catch a piece of start, but mainly survive. So those 3 are together. Yeah, Clive's car doesn't look too bad as far as I can tell. Neither does Job's. Just had to massively check up to avoid everything. Ballinger looks fine as well as Zach. He did get a whole load of that, but I think he just had to brake massively to avoid it. He seems okay carrying on. So drivers that were involved in that in a big way, you've got Cam Stark, Marcus Hamilton, and who else was there in that group as well? I thought there was more in that group.
yeah, there's Klaus, Sebastian's car looks alright.
Jason as well, unfortunately, he got caught up in that. Doesn't seem to be back on track at the moment. That sent him over the barrier, so Dark's going to be coming into the pits. You can see his car's in a right mess, trying to drive it around to get a fast tow. Get the car towed back to the pits is going to take forever here. We'll get an instant repair if he can get it there. Should stay on the lead lap maybe. Where is Tom now? Yeah, still going through the oval section, so a long, long way away.
Yeah, yes, taking the tow back to the pits is not particularly something you want to do, purely because of the length of the lap, and it'll take forever. You'll sit in the pits forever waiting for that to go by.
Warren Landman in the pits as well. I'm not quite sure why Warren's in. He's dropping back. Was he caught up in anything that you know of, Conrad? I don't know if you can have a quick check. And
I think he was a little bit further back, but I can have a look for you.
battle really is for second place right now. Clive moved himself up into second ahead of Job and Ballinger. These three cars slowly reeling back in Tom Ward, but 4.5 seconds. I think if they work together, they should be able to draft back up to him, as long as they exchange in positions and don't run into each other again.
Yeah, that was a big one, and we've seen it in the couple of series that's done the official stuff on iRacing around the oval. But when you get an accident, it's a big one.
Just nowhere for anyone to go there. The track just filters everyone back into each other, and initially the accident goes to the top of the circuit, and then it comes back down because of how steep the oval is. So drivers just really struggle to filter through there. It's ever so narrow as well. 3 wide, perhaps a bit adventurous, especially at this time of the race. But when you get a run, you get a run, I suppose.
Yes, it's we've got Tom Ward is out in front now.
Yeah, he's running pretty consistent out there. He seems to be keeping the gap to Clive and Joe behind. I'm just having a quick look. We're on board with Jason here. He's managed to get himself back out after obviously getting involved in that. 79 seconds behind the lead. That's not all that much considering what happened. And he's going to be able to. He's got a long race. I'm sure he topped it all up with fuel and everything else like that. So he's on an alternative strategy right now. Who knows what can happen? We've just seen. There's a late move from Lopez there to get the position back. Does so as well, but looks like Jason's going to get a run into the first of the Lesmos. They're side by side. Gone from one crazy battle to another one. They're side by side through Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2. Who's going to get the run out of here and into the Ascari? Not a good line for Lopez there, but he will get the draft up into Ascari chicane.
Yeah, I have to admit, with that big crash at the start of the race and that one we just had in the lead back, it's going to take me a minute or two to figure out where everybody is and how damaged their cars are, who's running with damage, who pitted.
We just Colin Cunniff just hit the wall as well. Another incident with Stark. He's taking no prisoners in his Hello Kitty livery out there today.
Yeah, poor Cam. I did message him earlier about that skin, and yeah, it was never going to be good.
I'm not sure what happened to Colin there. Actually, he got. I don't think he really went for a move at all on Cam, but it just looks like Cam overshot the second chicane there, and they basically ended up being too wide when they didn't want to be, and then it just looked weird. Like all of a sudden, the Ford just got away from Colin, and just around and into the wall. Also, there's a few people's liveries out there that might not look normal, and apologies for that. Obviously, we are using trading paints, and it is a bit weird sometimes with the teams, and have to make sure that that's uploaded by the admins. So apologies if they don't quite look right. I've got trading paints open, and it's downloaded all the ones that are available.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of guys mentioning trading paints. It appears not working as well as it should today, which is a shame. Right, just for my sake, Just gonna have a little run through the top 10 as we have it at the moment. If I can sort all of my apps out. Right. So in first place for Friction Racing, we have Tom Ward, and then about 4 seconds behind him is Sebastian Job and Clive Lawrence. They are now running together, and if they can help each other out a little bit, they should be able to catch up with Tom up front. In fourth place, we've got Tim Ballinger from TD Racing and a 747 BMW. And fifth place is Zach Shaler, KRF ATS Motorsports car. And then this is one of my personal favorites. In sixth place, John Broadmeadow and Team Cheese and Wine. And it's obviously a name that we came up with. And it kind of stuck. It sort of gives the impression that we're not too serious about the racing. But I promise you, once John gets up there, he's going to get very serious. In seventh place, we've got Colin Schueck, also with in a TD Racing BMW. In eighth place is Antonio J. Pinto from a FRT Hawkers International team. Ninth place, we've got Ryan D. Walker from the Bosra BMW, and running up the top 10 in the Forex Racing red car is Peter Vostrel. It's quite a big spread through the field now. After those two incidents, we've got a couple of cars that's a lap down, and the top 10 is covered by about 50 seconds.
Yeah, I have no doubts that will change and swap around quite a bit as this race goes. Tom just getting a little bit out of shape going into the Parabolica there, managed to save the car nicely, and away he goes. But yeah, just losing a little bit of time. I'm just looking at the lap times actually be the last time Clive was a 244.1 opposed to a 244.3, so they are slowly reeling in. It's back to 4.1 seconds, sorry, so pretty static, I have to say. As we can see, it's now Sebastian behind them, so those guys really are trying to play the draft game and get back up to Tom as quickly as possible. What Tom has got on his side right now is he can just do his thing. He's not worried about people coming up the inside. He can just nail his lines as much as he possibly can, and just try and keep that gap as much as it is. It's difficult for Clive and Seb to work together. They need to time everything just right so that they actually don't hold each other up.
Yeah, Tom's got a pretty clear track in front of him as well. So it makes it a lot easier to negotiate the corners without having to worry about working with anybody else.
Yeah, you can see the Apex duo just behind the Friction Racing car there, just about creeps into shot, so they closed up a little bit through that oval section. That seems to be where they're catching most of their time up as well, so just just using that draft through there, just exchanging positions a couple of times, using it to gain 2 or 3 tenths of a second there.
Yeah, Tim Ballinger's doing pretty well as well. He's slowly but surely making his way up to Clive and Sebastian as well. So pretty soon that duo might become a trio.
He was a little bit closer the previous lap. It was 0.9, so just lost a tiny little bit of time. Conrad, you'll probably know from your testing what sort of distance back are they getting a slipstream effect in these cars? I mean, I heard it was pretty large. I just wondered exactly how far back it was.
I was never running close enough to anybody to find that out, but I think I'm not sure if they've changed anything on the cars for this season, but in previous seasons, anything under 2 seconds, you would start feeling the effect. We saw earlier in the race how quickly they closed down a second to the car in front. So it's the hole that these cars punch in there is pretty big.
Great shot actually as they're coming down the main straight, seeing the combined circuit and drivers on the other side of the wall as well. So just not something we've seen in iRacing before. So he did a great job, and we just go on board. Look at the closure speed that Clive has around the outside of Job on this banking, just in the gyro cam. You just get such a realization of how steep that banking is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then just to help them around that corner with that banking as well. Clive is... I'd love to see how quickly this McLaren goes down that straight now that it's behind Clive. Like I mentioned earlier, well, Cam Stark is in the wall again.
Not the best days for Stark. Here comes Joe back on Ward. We're just getting word in our ear. Thank you very much to those that are feeding me information via YouTube. 1.9 seconds is where they picked the draft up. So Ballinger was still in it, although he's now 2.9 seconds back. So pretty slow lap from Tim that time, set him back quite a bit. But yeah, the gap for the lead still around about 3.9 seconds. So while they are closing in, slowly but surely, they perhaps not doing it as quickly as we might have expected to.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking back at Cam's car.
Yeah, let's have a look, see what he did.
He unfortunately picked up some damage somewhere during the lap, and I think he was trying to keep out of the way around the oval. And they put another wheel on the grass, and that meant another excursion into the wall.
Yeah, he's limping around out there right now, struggling big time. See if we can actually catch the crash.
Well, I was going to mention, I think it was already about a lap or two ago, Marcus Hamilton is flying at the moment. Here he is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. And then most of the time he's well into the 243s.
Jump on board. Oh yeah, we're just watching Cam. You're right. He's got some serious damage because oh, you're right. Oh dear. It's a good job it was a fast shot there. He's trying to hold the steering wheel completely the opposite angle, and then, like you say, just trying to stay out of the way as people rejoining sort of the main circuit from the oval, and just tags the wall again, makes that damage even worse. But yeah, it's not the best of days for Stark.
Oh yeah, that Hello Kitty is definitely not a happy one. She runs across the grass through Ascari as well.
Yeah, Marcus Hamilton 2:43.5 last lap, like I say. Della out there driving the socks off of that McLaren at the moment, trying to close back in. 109 seconds, so what's that, 1:49, there we go. Behind our leader. Yeah, that's a pretty sizable gap, but I'm hoping that actually he'll sort of work his way back towards these cars, because he has had the stop. I'm kind of hoping actually that he'll be off strategy, but it'll play back into his hand, and he's going to get maybe a pit stop back or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, I think like I said to you earlier, the fuel consumption around this track, it's a long track, and the amount of fuel these cars are eating is massive. And I think they're just sort of at the start of the race. They're on the cusp of it's definitely going to be a two-stopper race, but depending on the fuel usage, they might have to make a splash and dash towards the end.
I
And
should
with him having those early problems, and if he topped it up with fuel there, he would have saved himself a pit stop in effect.
Yeah, I should definitely make it interesting. Just going to do a lap on board with Marcus here as well. We're on the gyro camp, so again we just see him go through first of the oval corners there. Just crazy angle there. Just to see how he's doing it, what his lap time is. Another 2:43.8 this time for Marcus. So no draft out there, but like you say, absolutely flying. Just sort of hugging the yellow line on the oval, not going too high, not too low. At McLaren MP4, we need to say 12C now. Obviously, with iRacing bringing the Formula One car into the service. Absolutely flying down that back straight, heavy braking, nails it, hits the apex of the first chicane. Absolutely perfect. So on the power hard coming out of the first chicane as well. So. Definitely driver looks confident in the car, no problems through Curva Grande.
Yeah, he's really catching it. There's a couple of cars in front of him fighting for position. And he is catching them really quickly. Cristobal Lopez, and the car in front of Cristobal is Jason De Vries.
Yeah,
so
Jason.
If he can hook up with Jason,
they were quick at the start. Jason was very quick, wasn't he? Obviously involved in that first, that big pile-up with the leaders. So, but yeah, Marcus's car looks really good as well, settling down over the those big sort of sausage curves really quickly. It's allowing him to be very confident and push like mad. So, yeah, he's done a great job with the setup friction, certainly.
Yeah, it's good to see.
He gets a little bit loose coming out of Ascara. He catches it very quickly. No lift. Stay with him as we're about to come up to Parabolica. See what this lap time is, but you can see the time that he's closed up on the drivers ahead. Visibly closer this time as well as he comes across the finish line any second. See what this lap time was.
Here we now got a situation as well in terms of camera shots. We've got the guys coming off the oval and carrying on the straight down to the road turn 1, and they're side by side. It looks absolutely brilliant.
What we've missed while we've been talking about Marcus, actually, Conrad, is your man John Broadmeadows moved himself up into 5th place.
Oh, Team Cheese and Wine is climbing the ranking. How did he manage that?
Yeah, he must have missed the overtake he did on Zach a few laps ago, I'm guessing now. Half a second separates them, Zach trying to keep with him, but yeah, last time by 1:44.6, so pretty decent pace. We also, Sebastian Job is down in 4th place, 15 seconds behind the leader, and Clive Lawrence is on his own, so I'm not sure what happened to Job as well, but all of a sudden, way back. Very slow last lap, lost 10 seconds.
His car looks okay. Let me see if I can find out what happened there. Well, at the start of that lap, he had a pretty sizable gap to Clive.
Off track on lap 10. Let's see if we can.
It's through the Lesmo, the first Lesmo, where you lost the back end and had a little spin. Just lost the back end as he was coming out of the corner, turned the car around, and then obviously took him some time, sort of mid-corner, took him some time to turn the car around again and get going.
I don't think this is it. It doesn't look like the bookmarks are working on our TVO, or well, no, that's just him running wide again through the Lesmo. So yeah, he's just obviously struggling through there. Unfortunately, can't pick up on the actual the spin, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, Job having some issues. 15 seconds behind. Being closed in by Zach at the moment, who's actually got back past John Broadmiller. So those two having a good little fight out there.
Yeah, John. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, man on the move, Clive Lawrence, 1.6 seconds behind our race leader all of a sudden as well.
He's not holding back, is he? I'm going to have to start sending these guys destructive PMs to get them to slow down.
Talking about our race leader, Tom Ward, under a bit of pressure. Lawrence closing in on him very late on the brakes, gets himself all out of shape. He moves himself, puts himself down into second place. Just take another little look at that back. See exactly what happened. I wonder if he got a wheel on the grass or something like that, just breaking into a Scari. Oh, he does as well. He brakes just on the grass. Struggles like mad. You can see him fighting that car inside the cockpit there just to try and keep it pointing forward. He does well, to be fair. He's only lost a couple of seconds. Might have lost the lead, but that could have been him well and truly stuffed into the wall. So as well to keep that out of the barrier. But yeah, Clive Lawrence now up and into the lead.
From the limited running I did, that braking zone going into Ascari was a particular problem. So easy, just to forget where the outside of the track is and put a wheel on there. And I think I did it lap after lap after lap. We just stick a wheel on the grass, and I have to admit, Tom did a whole lot better than I did.
Yeah, it seems like the drivers just want to use the curb in there a little bit as well, just to try and make the opening a little bit wider going in. But of course they have to start braking just before that as well, so just get it wrong, and it's a handful. But fortunately for Tom, he was still in the draft as well, so he's been able to close back into Clive. So we're going to have a good battle here for the lead, I'm sure.
I mean, he closed right up around the oval. That McLaren of his was doing nearly 290 kilometers an hour down that straight coming off the oval. Yeah,
we know the rough is quick in a straight line, but actually I think the McLaren is able to match it just. So I think this is why we're seeing these cars towards the front and the likes of the BMW struggling a little bit around here.
So I'm not quite sure how many of these guys racing today actually did full stints on the tires before or prior to the race. So it'll be interesting to see, especially with the new tire model, if they get any lap time drop off or anything like that. I was saying that Clive's last lap was a 2:43.9. That's still pretty pacey.
Yeah, no real drop off there, I don't think so. Couple of little individual battles going on the track at the moment. 19th and 20th. Kevin Jerry there having a great little battle, 0.4 of a second back. Jason and Marcus, we said that this might have a good little run at each other. Marcus caught up and got in front for the moment, but Ford's not giving up particularly easily. They've got a back marker ahead of them as well. It's just helping them draft along at the moment.
As Darren, part of the Friction Racing team, helping out Marcus a little bit, giving him a nice tow down the straight, and he lets Jason go as well. Oh, those guys are flying at the moment.
42s.
Jason's last lap was a 45.6, so he must have had either traffic issues or a half spin somewhere. Anyway, Marcus Hamill's now into the 42s.
Oh, Jason gets himself all out of shape going over the second chicane there. That's going to set him back way too far. 1.7 seconds. He's going to need to get up to Marcus pretty quickly. Fortunately, Marcus has got a bit of traffic. Still struggling with those rear tyres on the Ford, so maybe this is what set him back a little bit. Oh, he's still snaking around coming out of Lesmo 2 as well, so Yeah, I think the tyres on the Ford pretty much eaten up and destroyed at this point.
It certainly looks like if you made the pick to run this race in the McLaren, you made the right choice.
Ryan Walker. Sorry, carry on, Conrad.
McLarens, from all the cars, looking at them, they look the most stable, quick in a straight line. I'm actually surprised to see as few roughs as we do in the race. But they look very handy as well.
Yeah, definitely seems to be the favoured car as we see Jason in the background there. He's closing in on Ryan Walker, but drifting the rear end of coming around the Parabolica. So I'm not sure if he's having fun or not, but it looks good.
That's all that matters. And while all of that's going on, we've got John Broadmeadow and Zach Shaler. They are having a real little ding-dong battle as they go through the chicane, approaching the first Lesmo. They were side by side going through, I don't know really what to call it. Normally we'd call it turn 1, where I suppose if you add the oval, it's that first slow chicane is turn 5.
Right. Yeah, if we go by the American rules with the oval turns, then yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Definitely think John's probably pulling Zach along a little bit at this point. Obviously, I'm not sure who's driving solo at the moment and who's going to have somebody jump in the car with them. But yeah, for the moment, John pulling along that KRF Motorsport car. They're exchanging positions nicely. I wonder if they're just starting to hold each other up a little bit.
I said they will refer for now. We'll refer to that first chicane as turn 5. I think that makes it a little bit clearer for everybody. But they went through there side by side, so obviously fighting for position, and I would imagine that that cost them a little bit of time.
Another little battle going on track at the moment. Warren Landman closing in on Lance Hawes. Just 0.3 of a second separate them as they go into turn 5.
And just a little update on our Team Kitty car. He's in the pits again.
I think he's probably had his days posted on the YouTube feed as well, saying he's addicted to crashing today. So yeah,
it's that skin, Cam. It's that skin. We've got a couple of cars running out there, I think, sort of braving the damage that they've got on it, just to make it to the first pit stop and use that fast repair instead of having to make an extra stop. As we see, currently looking at Zach Shaler and John Broadmeadow again, coming down to turn 5.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun out there now. I think just exchanging positions. So running in 5th and 6th place.
I think as the race goes on, especially with the likes of Jason De Vries and Marcus Hamilton that was involved in that early crash, as they make their way through the field, we're going to see a couple of good battles developing.
It's interesting to say that when we last looked at Marcus, he was 1 minute 49, was it, behind? He's now down to 1 minute 40, so he's caught 9 seconds up in, what's that, 15 minutes, something like that. So at that sort of rate, he's certainly going to be back towards Tom by the end of this race, I think. And especially if he doesn't need that extra splash. I mean, it puts him actually in a really, really strong position.
Yeah, it's not often that you say that a crash in the first couple of laps is a blessing in disguise, but I mean, he's doing really well. When we started watching him a little bit and paying attention to his lap times, he was down in 15th place, and he's up into 11th, running well. Now he's got a nice gap as well, free track of about 12 seconds to the next car, which is Lee Thompson, and a barrel roll racing car. And as we know, Lee is no slouch either.
Yeah, no, Lee. We haven't seen much of Lee today in the BMW. Surprised Lee's not in the rough. Actually, I remember he did that series in the rough. How's that guy, WCS driver? If you haven't seen that on YouTube, find his channel and follow that. Also, I believe it's on the Apex Racing UK YouTube channel as well. Some great racing in there as well. So a lot of fun. Good camera shots that Lee uses for that. I'm struggling a little bit with his connection out there, but yeah, in the BMW today, and getting a little squirrely coming out of Skyrim.
I think this is hosted races like this where there's no safety rating or iRating on the line gives guys a good opportunity just to test the waters a little bit with different cars and see what they like. We as a team at Apex Racing UK, I think the Rough is the first of these GT3 cars that came out, and we jumped in them and we've stuck with them ever since. We haven't really dipped our toes into any of the other cars to see what they like.
Two up front continue their little battle, separated by half a second. No reason to think that's going to change. They're holding their own with Seb behind them as well, lapping very, very similar sort of lap times. Actually pulled away a little bit then, so gap is about 12.5 seconds as they cross the line. So I think if they can keep Seb at that sort of bay, they'll be pretty happy with that. Coming into the pits, it's all going to be about that pit stop window. Oh, Lawrence, I've cursed him into the Armco in a big way. Massive damage on the front of that Rough, and of course the engine's blown up because it's in the front, isn't it, in that car?
Engine's in the...
Yes, exactly.
It's in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Petrol tank's in the front.
Yeah. So it should be like, we're leaking fluid, not bang, but we'll let him have that one. But yeah, he's gonna just about limp it back to the pits, but that puts Job up into second. Ward clear in the lead right now as well. So that exit at Ascari's been catching a lot of people out as Lawrence just lets his teammate go through as well. That's John Broadmeadow. He's going to come into the pits, get himself repaired. Well, he's trying, but he's
trying.
The car's,
we'll get there.
Car's all over the place.
Speed limiter on, son.
So, but yeah, he should. To be honest, he's 45 minutes into his stint, so yes, it's going to have been a slow pit entry. He's going to have lost about 10 seconds, but it might not lose him too much time. He'll get a repair, new tyres, new full tank of fuel, and he'll go on about his way.
Yeah, we're seeing Darren Kirk's in the pits as well. I'm not sure if that's a regular pit stop or if he picked up damage somewhere.
Yep, ta-da, new car for Clive, just filling it up as well. So yep, new tyres, fresh fuel. Let's just see roughly how long or what's going on with the pit stop timer at the moment. There we go. So far other stops that we've seen have been around about 30 odd seconds, so this is quite a long one. Tyres just going on now for Clive.
Yeah, you might be thankful for that crash a little bit. It means you can get the rip off of the windscreen. Means you can see where he's going again.
47 seconds, so it is worth pointing out, of course, tyres and fuel do take a little bit longer in these GT3s because they are done separately, and some of the earlier stops would have been just for fuel. There's no need to change tyres that are only 5 or 6 laps old. But Lawrence comes out just ahead of
Marcus Hamilton.
Yeah, well, just behind now. Marcus Hamilton. So there you go. Just shows how that all pans itself out. But with the pit stops, I would think like Tom and Seb. Well, Tom's going to come out about 10 seconds ahead of Marcus, but Seb's probably going to be there or thereabouts.
Oh, we've got a crash on the oval. Andrew Kanowski is running in 8th place. He's had a big one around the second part of the oval, and he's towed it back to the pits.
Taking a little replay. Oh, side by side, there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on there with Ford GT. They get into each other, spin themselves around. The Ford manages to survive. No, he doesn't. Hits the... and apologies for that. Yeah, the Ford catches the Armco there, and I think that was Warren. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Warren, I think. No, it wasn't Warren.
We've got, yeah, it was, unfortunately, it's Andrew Kanowski in the TD Racing BMW, and there's a couple of guys that you've got to feel really sorry for today. One of them, Cam in his Hello Kitty car, and unfortunately Colin Caneff.
Was it Colin? Oh
yeah, has been the victim of a few incidents as well.
That oval's not been friendly for Colin, and then of course he had going through the chicane as well. So yeah, today he's going to want to forget pretty quickly. We know how quick Colin is. Obviously, we've covered him here on Apex Racing TV in the Starmaster GP 260 series back in the day.
Wow, that seems like that is years ago.
Yeah. It just goes to show you how long we've been iRacing now, mate. Yeah, one of the very, well, not one of the very first leagues. That's probably like the second batch of leagues that we did, wasn't it? I think. So, just looking at John and Zach just having a little fight while we reminisce.
Yeah, they have. Wow, they've been going at it for what appears years as well now. I think they must have come to the realization pretty early on that they are very similarly paced, and you're not going to drop somebody else around the oval, but better work together than lose each other time.
Interesting battle starting to form up. 3 cars now. We've got Pet here, Clive, and Marcus. That's also Lee Thompson in amongst it as well. So 4-car battle now for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th place here.
Clive's already been in the pits, and we're going to see Lee and Marcus still going to make the next pit stops. Obviously Lee is going to be in first, and even Mr. Hamilton's going to be in. Lee Thompson didn't really have anywhere to go into that corner. Ready to back off, concede the place to Marcus Hamilton. And just behind them as well is Peter Fostrel as well. Sort of snuck up on them unannounced. We've got Tom Ward. Tom Ward's in the pits.
Let's just
John
see
Broadmeadow
how
coming in as well as
Zach's in as well. So,
yeah, so not even the pit stops can separate those two at the moment.
Interesting, actually, that the Rough and the McLaren very similar sort of fuel consumption, both guys having to pit around about the same. Tom's still in the pits, 41.4 seconds so far. Clock is still ticking. This is a long stop for Tom, 50.6 seconds. That is, it's only about 4 seconds more than Clive, but that will bring Clive a little bit closer but towards him. Where is Clive right now? Here he comes into Parabolica. So you can see the sort of time that he lost with that incident.
Yeah, I think the longer pit stop for the McLaren is due to the size of its fuel tank as well. Obviously, it can take a lot more fuel, and then I think it's about 20 liters extra than the Rough. So that's going to keep him stationed for a little bit longer as well. We've got quite a few guys coming out of the pits now. Aki Akhtar in the Bosro BMW just made a pit stop. Aaron Osborne, who's currently running 7th in the TD Racing BMW, has made one as well. And then right behind them, all coming through the oval now, is Tom Ward. And the Hello Kitty car is back on track.
What I like to see, Cam Stark deciding he's going to jump back in. Obviously just driving on his own. We're having a few driver swaps go off as well. We'll try and keep you apprised to who's jumped into the cars that are teamed up to date. I think there's been a few. Ruben, we haven't seen Ruben in before. Ruben's jumped in. Scotty Newton just giving me the fuel information right now. The rough 100 litres, the Z4 150 litres and 115 litres of fuel, and the MP4 130. So the MP4 are obviously a lot more thirsty on the fuel than the rough, considering they pitted at exactly the same time.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. One of the KRF Motorsports cars, the Ford GT with Daniel Acklin in it, had a big moment at the favourite spinning place on the track and going through Ascari.
Yeah, let's just see if we can jump back and catch that on the replay. He's just coming into the pits, needs a repair already. He's only just got in the car, hasn't he, as well? So, oh, that was going into the Parabolica actually, where he caused all that severe damage. So, big mistake there. Needs a new car already. Come on, bring that in, get some repairs done, and he'll be back out.
Yeah, unfortunately, just lost the back end just on the exit of Ascari, and there wasn't too much damage right there, but yeah, I just saw that a second crash going into Parabolica. It looks a lot similar than one of the McLarens and the Blancpain series, the real life Blancpain series, a couple of weeks ago around Monza, and the exact same thing happened. Lost the back end, and it was a huge crash.
Just having a look at Marcus and Clive still going at it. Those guys are bringing themselves right back into the mix. Seb's into the pits, 52.7 seconds. He's come out as well. He's about 7 seconds ahead of Clive. So, yeah, I'm just trying to work out, once we get some proper interval times, we'll be able to tell whether or not. It looks like he's actually lost about 2 seconds in the pit stop from Tom Ward as well. So Tom's had actually had a pretty decent stop. I thought that was quite slow, but definitely the fastest of them was Clive, because the rough's got that small fuel tank to fill up. So fuel efficient, small tank, that could come into effect later on if he can get himself back towards Tom.
Yeah, and they both Clive and Mark is going to gain another spot on this next lap. Tim Bellinger has been in the pits for his pit stop, and he came out and he's joined by Mr. Broadmeadow.
Yeah, well, Zach seems to have dropped about 3 or 4 seconds back. Here he comes into turn 5, as it is with this layout. Yeah, so about 3.5 seconds that he's lost there, really. So definitely the rough has the advantage. They can get that car fueled up and gone a lot quicker than the McLarens can. So that's definitely going to be something to watch out for in that final stint. If we've got a race on our hands going into the pits, definitely, like Clive, has got a bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, it certainly looks like you've mentioned now with the pit stops and advantage the guys in the roughs have in that, but it really looks like once the McLaren starts burning off a bit of fuel, that it's definitely one of the fastest, if not the fastest car on the track, as we've got somebody in the gravel and second is well, I'll give 5 for iRacing credits for the first person to tell me who that was.
Yeah. It's the perfect person to be in the kitty litter as well.
So let's have a look.
Still watching
that's not getting better for him either, as
I'm not going to switch.
Ascari claims another victim, and on the exit as well.
Lee Thompson on screen having a battle with Zach here. Obviously Lee hasn't pitted. He looks like he might be coming in this time. Yeah, he does. He boxes now. So just an extra couple of laps he's got. And yeah, so pits in. So that first lap incident, just he was able to top up a little bit, but not enough for Lee there. But again, who knows? That might just be, if he can keep eking out that sort of fuel, couple of extra that might prevent him needing that extra splash.
Yeah, so we need on our YouTube channel we've got Scotty53991. If Scotty's got a YouTube account or an iRacing account, if he wants to get in touch and tell us, give us his details on iRacing, we'll send across 5 iRacing credits.
Yeah, that's Scott Newton. So wherever he is, he's down below, isn't he, somewhere? Yeah, he's muted at the moment. I've not seen him, but he must have been in there waiting patiently for a little while. Let me just grab him up. We're joined by a favourite of the Apex Racing TV channel, Mark Noble. Hello, Nobby. Long time no speak. How you doing, buddy?
How are you, boys?
Yeah, good. How's the race going for the KRF guys at the moment?
Bit of a schmozzle at the start, but everybody had to jump into different cars that we weren't going to be in, but they're going alright.
Yeah, we just saw your Ford GT coming out of the pits and then having a little moment through Ascari and into Parabolica as well.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Lance. He got caught up in that first one. He was up the front with the boys and just got caught up in that. But one of the American drivers in ATS, he's going alright. He's up in, what's he up, 7th? Yeah, and then the poor old Ford got caught up in that big one at the start there, so that sort of put him back a bit. But nah, we're all having fun, mate.
Yeah, it certainly threw the cat amongst the pigeons. Yeah, we had about 10 cars running up front, and those first few laps, and then one certain car with a cat on its bonnet just created an absolute mess. And let's face it, his day hasn't gotten any better since. But on the other hand, it split up the field a little bit. It's put a lot of the faster guys somewhere in the midfield. And Alex and I have been speculating a little bit. We think it might get very tasty towards the end of this race with those guys catching up towards the front again.
Oh, it definitely will. You're talking about someone that actually done the same thing twice in the same spot.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I think our boys were calling him, what were they calling him? Captain something. I don't know what they'll call him.
Well, after this race, we're going to call him Captain Crash.
That Indy 500 win went to his head. He thought that he's the man on the ovals now, so he just went for it.
Somebody should tell him we're turning right on this oval. Oh no, but it's good to see the KRF ATS Motorsports cars is running up there, and it's currently in 7th place and running very steady lap times. You must be happy.
Oh yeah, well 3 of these boys, Zach is one of them in the ATS car, and Paul Gorrell and Daniel Ackland. They're all V8 drivers, so they don't usually sit in those cars.
They must be loving the GT3s in that case.
Yeah, I think they all had to get used to being on the other side of the car.
Oh yeah, I forgot. V8's got the steering wheel on the wrong side, hasn't it?
On the right side, but anyway.
Who's in the car after Zach, Mark?
Zach's doing it on his own, mate.
Oh, he's on his Todd, so yeah, no driver swap for him. So full 3 hours. Doing it like a boss?
He's a young fella, mate. Oh, he's actually Canadian. He lives in the US, but yeah, no, he's a good young fella.
Oh, we wish him all the best of the luck, as well as the rest of your guys. I see Paul's jumped into the rough now, so having his little shot in the car. Got a little battle on his hands with Ernesto in front of him right now.
Oh, Nobby, before you go, sorry, I was just looking and I got your one of your cars mixed up with another one. The Valencia.
Sorry guys, just want to say Hamilton into the pits. So that's he's definitely got enough fuel out of that to get rid of that little splash and dash that you want. So he's gone to 1 hour 57 left. So it's going to be close, but I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think I worked out the race. It's going to be somewhere around 66 or 67 laps. Mark has obviously made it to lap 23 now, so he should be fine. And the rest of them obviously put a lot earlier, so that I think that splash and dash towards the end is going to be a real possibility unless they start fuel saving now.
Yeah, I dare see we'll see a few drivers running mix 2 or 3 towards the end of this run, just to try and eke that out when they can. But yeah, going to be tricky for sure. Thanks, Mark. I'll let you get back down to your boys, whip them back into shape, and try and get them back up into the top 10.
Yeah, I'll try, mate. Thanks for bringing us up. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, good to chat to you, mate. And yeah, we'll chat soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for that.
We'll just go, as we've just hit the hour mark, we'll just go to a quick advert break, and we will be right back. Just stay with us here, Apex Racing TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson, Conrad Venter here for the AR UK Diabetes UK charity event. We are a little over an hour and 10 minutes into this event. It's been pretty eventful as well. Lots of accidents, crashes, but a lot of good racing as well, Conrad.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything, haven't we? We've seen guys, absolutely flying after having massive accidents. The likes of Mr. Hamilton, living up his counterpart in F1's name, and just absolutely ripping the track apart, trying to make his way back up to the lead. And we've seen some blue-colored kitty cars wreaking absolute havoc as well.
And we're joined now by Scott Newton as well. Scott, I'm not actually sure if you're going to get to drive today or not, is the first question.
Yeah. Hey Alex, hey Conrad. I was a bit of a conflict in terms of SRA GT series and this race, but yeah, I managed to get Tim Mawson to fill in for us, which he did a great job. Unfortunately, he had a bit of an issue at the start of the race, which put us a little bit back. But yeah, he did an awesome job to fight his way back up to, I think, was it P17 or 18 at the time before his pit stop.
Yeah, so it's you, Alex Marshall and Tim then all teaming up today. Make a interesting team. Yeah, unfortunately, Tim got involved in that massive carnage at the start, which you'd have missed. But sorry, I need to just quickly mention that we are looking at the battle for the lead. Sebastian Job has caught back up to Tom Ward, and those two are going at it at the moment quite heavily. But of course, you got the spot prize question right, Cam. With Cam as the answer. Sorry, Scott. But yeah. So who was in the kitty litter?
Yeah, it was Cam.
I think Cam has spent a whole lot more time in the kitty litter today than he has on the black stuff. And I think he's made a couple of toilet breaks while his car was being repaired in the pits as well. But talking about the kitty litter and Cam wreaking havoc, I think one of the guys that got most affected by that was Colin Caniff, and I think it's only right that we compensate the man a little bit for the damage that Cam did, and award him a $5 iRacing credits prize as well.
That's Scott. You're obviously good at getting the question right on the spot, even though you were in TeamSpeak cheating. As well as Colin Cuniff there with a $5 iRacing credits, and congratulations.
Cheers, Alex.
Excuse me, I'm sort of scoffing my face at the same time. Thank you, Conrad, as well, for giving that away. We've got a few more little spot prizes to give away during this race, so keep an ear out, as it's definitely getting a little tasty up front.
Yeah, it looks like it's gotten to the point now where Mr. Job is running different lines down that main straight, and the straight down to turn 5, trying to break the toe. But I think there's very little chance of that happening.
Scott, I just wanted to ask you a question. We've seen the McLarens pretty much dominate this race, to be fair. Is that what we expected?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought either the Rough or the McLaren would dominate, just due to the fact that they have a massive top speed difference compared to the Z4. It may be in the region of 10 kilometers or 6 miles an hour difference, even in the draft as well. So, or it could be even bigger than that too. So, yeah, it's just a bit of a shame that the Z4s aren't on pace with the other two cars. It should have been a good battle with all the cars if it were it had all of them on the same pace.
Or even with the draft, you just couldn't keep up?
Yeah, even in the draft with the Z4 against a Rough or a McLaren, they were pretty much equal. We pretty much couldn't get past.
Well, I'm going to wish you the best of luck for the rest of the race. Who knows what's going to happen? Alex finds himself just one lap down at the moment. There's been a lot of accidents throughout this race, so you never know. You might be able to work your way back onto the lead lap, but still, there's people in sort of touch of you, and yeah, I can still see a possible top 10 on the cards for you guys.
Yeah, it should be a good rest of the race. There's just under an hour and 3/4 to go, so yeah, it should be a good race.
Well, yeah, go give Alex some motivation, and good luck for your stint, buddy.
Right, cheers, Alex, and thanks, Conrad.
No problem.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at probably what is the best battle on the track at the moment, but we have got another one just to quickly bring up as well. That's Lee Thompson and Jason there as well. So Jason's been floating in and around the sort of the top 10 all race. Really hasn't been able to recover quite as well as Marcus Hamilton has. He's about 20 seconds behind. Yeah, no, not that much. No, it is more than that actually. It's about 30 seconds behind Marcus at this point. So yeah, the McLarens definitely seem to be quicker. The Ford was able to keep up in the slipstream earlier on, but it's not been able to make too much progress after that. Conrad.
Yeah, I was just looking at Lee and There's Jason. It's going down the straight towards turn 5, and Jason's in the Ford GT, and that's pretty pacey in a straight line as well. And Lee just, it wasn't even an attempt to have a look going into turn 5. It's just the straight line speed just isn't there.
Yeah, we're just having a look now with speeds up on screen. It's just a couple of kilometres an hour difference. That's all really between these two. So the Ford definitely has the advantage on the Beamer out there. So it's going to be difficult for Thompson to get a move done. He's going to have to get absolutely right on his tail to be able to have any opportunity at all.
Oh, we've got a slow-moving BMW coming into the parabolic at the moment. It's Akib Akhtar running in 18th place for Basra.
Oh, yeah, that's damaged big time on the front right there. You can just see from the onboard shot the bonnet there all bent up as he comes into the pit box. Yeah, it's going to be a repair for him, I'm sure.
Sorry, I'm just looking through what might have happened to him, and there was a lot of smoke going into the first. There was Clive Lawrence with a smoking car, and Akib just tried to go around Clive in the first Lesmo and ran wide, got it onto the gravel, and then hit the inside coming out of the corner. Hit the barrier on the inside. Clive running with a damaged car and a semi-blown engine.
See if we can get this back on replay. Actually looks might not have gone far enough. So
We'll see what happened to Clive.
yeah, still this actually happened quite a way back because there's still nothing visible on screen. Oh, okay, so no, I think that's still after contact.
Yeah, Clive just had a miserable second chicane. He came out of the chicane, lost the back end. He was still good after that, and then once he came back on track, put the power down, lost the back end, and stuck it in the barrier.
I know when we were talking to Clive earlier on, he said he was going to struggle a little bit with that. Just having a look, here's the moment right now. Yeah, around the outside, just gets his wheels onto the gravel there, stuffs it into the wall. Mad damage. Looks like Clive picked up a bit more just to add to his woes. And yeah, from there he's just going to have to limp it back. Driver that I'm a little bit fearful for at the moment is John Broadmeadow. The leader's very close. He's flashing in and out like mad, so I hope his connection holds on. That is just absolutely crazy at the moment. I can't show him on screen where you saw what it was like just a moment ago if you were watching. It was just flashing all over the place, so I hope his connection sorts it out. It doesn't get dropped because he's done a great job to get himself up into third place.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that he was one of the cars that didn't qualify, so he's made his way up to third place all the way from the back of the grid. And yeah, he did mention earlier that he was struggling with his internet connection, but
Ruben into the pits as well. Is that scheduled stop? That seems a bit early for me. Let's see if we can see why that might have been. Coming into Parabolica at the moment at full speed, no real issues. I think that is Alex behind him, Marshall that is. Just pits, so just a scheduled stop for him. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. They're just losing time at the moment. Pit stop timer doesn't seem to be clocking up. So yeah, a bit of an odd one as to why Ruben's in, but 55 seconds so far stationary. No, he's underway. So just a scheduled stop, but maybe he decided to have a bit of a short stint this one. Knew that he wasn't going to do it on the 2 stops, so broke it up to smaller stints.
yeah, I think that the pit stops, I think we might be used to the short pit stops in the FW31. the pit stops in these cars take an absolute age. So you look at someone in the pits and wondering if they're just making a pit stop or if it's a genuine problem with the car.
No matter what happens to Clive, he's always in some sort of battle. He's come out after getting his car repaired. He's just ahead of Jason now. So these guys 8th and 9th place after all their problems today. But yeah, it looks like Jason's basically pushing Clive around the circuit there. Thompson just tagging onto him as well. Try and keep that slipstream. Those guys still got an opportunity for a fair result if anything happens up front.
Oh, those cars look brilliant coming out of that oval section, especially if you have a couple of them running close to each other like that.
Worth pointing out, Marcus Hamilton down to 65 seconds behind our leader, so just over a minute now. That time has come down massively. Still lapping 142s, 143s out there, so by far the quickest driver on the circuit at the moment. All the battling between Tom and Sebastian, slowing them up by probably half a second a lap in the great scheme of things, even though they are exchanging positions. Bringing Marcus back into this at the end. I'm pretty sure Tom knows that, as it's Marcus is his teammate, and just need to keep doing what they're doing. What they can't afford to, or what the Fraction guys can't afford to do, is let Seb get away, because we know that those guys, Seb and Marcus, were equally as fast in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing drive by Marcus so far. After that accident, I think we looked at him at one point and it was a minute 50 behind the leaders. We just closed the gap up by 55 seconds, and there's still half the race to go.
Yeah, he's on his own at the moment out there, so huge gap, 16 seconds behind Zach, but some 23 seconds in front of Colin behind him. So yeah, he's got no real worries for anyone giving him any pressure, so he just needs to set about his business. He's got an hour and a half left of this race, so we're close to the halfway point, and yeah, just got to do his thing really.
If he comes back and he wins this,
I really think if he doesn't need that extra splash of fuel, if he can make it, then he's got it. You know, I actually think that extra stop has done it, because he's broke him away from this pack as well, so he's been able just to do his lap times out there without having to worry about pulling the others along or losing time being overtaken. So that's why he's constantly doing the 43s and the odd 42, and that is really what's opened up this race for him. So yeah, it's very unusual that an incident like that can be a bit of a blessing, but it might well be, like we touched on earlier on.
I mean, regardless of what happens in the rest of the race, it has been some drive that he's put in since that big accident at the start of the race.
Probably the biggest gap we've had up front between these two for some time, up to 1 second. Tom gets the draft off the back marker, which does close him back in again. It's back down to 0.7. And when Seb's in clear air, all of a sudden slows down. Let's have a look at the speed difference between the two. Yeah, so about 10 kilometers, well, just under that as well. But what was a second going into the oval, back down to 0.2, and I think even Tom's going to have an opportunity to maybe have him look into turn 5. No, just a little bit too far back, but that's how difficult it is to break the draft here. Seb had a second advantage and a back marker ahead to slipstream as well for half the oval, and still couldn't break away.
Yeah, I'm hoping these, a lot of these guys can stick together for the rest of the race. It's definitely going to make for some good watching on the last lap if they manage to keep with each other. Oh, as Tom Ward is just having a little moment going through his second chicane, losing a bit of time.
Yeah, just went in a little bit deep back and got away from him a little bit. Managed to get back going okay. I think he's going to be alright. Still in range to pick up the draft off the Apex car ahead of him, but should be should be fine. 7/10 of a second. So long straight into Ascari chicane. I'm sure that gap will come down, and I can already see that it is 0.6 speed difference as well. Closes into 0.5 there as well, just before the break-in. So just goes to show how much of a draft effect you get around here. Jump back to Clive, Jason. They've dropped Lee behind them now. Lee some 5 seconds back, just coming onto your screen now. No, it doesn't. Camera flicks away before we see him. But yeah, Clive and Jason side by side. They're having a lot of fun out there right now. Ford isn't that slow in a straight line. He's holding his own. They're not slipstreaming each other at all on the low side. I love it as they come out of the oval onto the main circuit over that little bit of crest, just getting tiniest little bit of air.
Yeah, we're watching the cars come through there at full speed. As we mentioned before, it looks brilliant.
Of course, it'd be awesome if they run this configuration in real life, but I think they are planning to restore the oval, but no official plans. I think they've tidied it up a little bit. That's about as far as it goes, isn't it? Still don't race on it, far too dangerous in real life. But yeah, we've seen some of the crashes that have happened on iRacing, so I imagine it's pretty scary to go side by side with someone in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I've never paid that much attention to the track in real life as such, but I imagine iRacing got a pretty spot on that. If you manage to get over that wall on the outside of the track, there's nothing but bush there. So it's not particularly something any driver would like to experience. And I imagine before they run any kind of series on that track in real life, the oval in particular will need some upgrades in terms of safety and that kind of thing.
Yeah, extremely bumpy as well. So I'd love to see it. I have to say, I would love to see it resurfaced and safety standards put on there again. Just because of the history of it and things like that, whether it'll ever get anything, which is probably why they'll never do it, because of the pure expense of doing all that, but it'd still be awesome.
I'm just going to try and have a little look back through the field, see if there's anything, sort of any interesting battles going on.
Still just watching this battle between Clive and Jason, exchanging positions on the regular.
Well, like we've seen so many times before in this race, we've got Pat O'Hara and one of the TD racing cars that's making his way down to Parabolica very slowly. And it would appear that Ascari claimed another victim.
Yeah, lost the front end on that, struggling to get it turned in. Let's see if we can skip that back and have a look at the replay, exactly what happened there. Oh, I think we've just caught the end of that as he's around. Yeah, let's jump it back a bit further.
Yeah, it looks like such a simple corner to take. You negotiate the first two parts of Ascari, and then all of a sudden on the exit, when you try and put your foot down, and it's a pretty straight line coming out of there. And for some reason, the back ends on the cars just go. I had endless troubles in the laps that I was running with the exact same thing.
Yeah, it looks like Pat just caught that inside curb and just got the car a little bit unstable. Puts that bit of extra load on the right rear, I think, through there, and that's what gets it a little loose. So very, very tricky, and yeah, paid big price for it. Car is in a right shape. Pat just limping it back. He's in the box now. 26 seconds of his repair is done. Sure, they'll get him back up and going in no time.
Right, so if just gonna have a little look. Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost a couple of cars so far. One of them, some might think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise, as their Hello Kitty car has eventually packed it in. and some 20 laps down. Unfortunately, we've lost Colin Cuniff as well, mainly due to the escapades of our Team Kitty car, and unfortunately, I just saw Darren Kirk disconnecting a couple of minutes ago, and I think his race has sadly come to an end as well.
Yeah, I mean the attrition actually been pretty low. I expected to see a little bit higher. Of course, we do have a fair few fast repairs and things like that, so all good. But yeah, and of course we're getting calls for Cam to come back out on circuit as well in the chat. Disappointed to hear that he's finally out of this race. So they want to see the Kitty car back.
Well, it's I'm sure. I see Cam is hiding down in one of the TeamSpeak channels. If you want, we can pull him up and see what the chances are of Team Kitty coming out again.
Yeah, we'll jack him up. We'll surprise him. Cam Stark, hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV comms box. You've had some fun and adventures out there today, mate.
Oh, it was amazing. I loved it.
And yeah, so the fans are calling for the Kitty car to come back out to play. Any chance of that happening, or are you absolutely cooked for the day?
Oh no, we can make it happen. I've run out of fast repairs, so it should be repaired by now. I've just taken a little break from it. I can probably go back out.
Well, I tell you what, Cam, we've got quite a few sort of $5 credits, iRacing credits vouchers to hand out today. So if you can make it back out on track, do 5 laps without nailing anybody, then well, we'll throw $5 your way, and we'll also give you the choice of who gets another $5.
Okay. Well, you know what it's been like. I crashed within the first 5 laps of the race, so it could be hard to come by. We'll see.
Oh well, but the money, these credits aren't easily earned, my friend.
We have got a question for you, Cam, though, that's come through. Are we going to see Team Kitty in the World Championship Series?
Oh, of course we are.
Of course.
Simple questions to that. We've got, Gregor Hutu's what's the word? Inquired about joining. Top guys want to join it.
It's all going to be that Team Kitty.
Definitely, that's the new Team Redline.
Well, it's, I'm pretty sure a couple of guys are going to have second thoughts after watching that car today. So I don't think they expected that Team Kitty. One of the prerequisites of joining Team Kitty is that you spend as much time as possible in the Kitty litter.
I should have thought my actions through when I went for that free wide overtake on the oval. I've got to admit that, but I didn't think I'd get so loose going down so low. But it was interesting.
It looked okay. Everybody was running fine going through the corner. It just looked that you got your right rear wheel onto the grass, and that's the thing that that caused the big pile-up.
Right. Yeah, as soon as it happened, I literally just had my hand on my face, like, oh god, did that really just happen?
Well, it certainly spiced up the race anyway, because obviously we've got Marcus trying to recover on a different fuel strategy. That could come in quite nicely. Tom and Seb are still battling it out, so yeah, it's anyone's race, I think, at this point.
Yeah, definitely it is pretty close. Just been watching the broadcast as well, whilst I was just sitting out, but yeah, it's definitely close up the front.
Right, well, you go and get those 5 laps in. $5 for you and someone else of your choice.
Oh yeah, I'll speak to you guys in a bit.
Well, I say we don't mind about the off tracks, but the car's got to stay out of the wall.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Good luck.
See you in a bit.
Sufficiently bribed, I think there.
Well, I think it's a hard enough task looking at
there he goes.
How it's gone today.
Team Kitty, everybody just absolutely soiled themselves out there now, and I've seen that car rejoin the circuit.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Cam's run out of fast repairs as well, because that McLaren looks in the right state.
I'll let you keep an eye on him, see if he managed to do it. Just having a look at the current lap time, 41 minutes 23 seconds. Absolutely flying out there.
That's it's brilliant. I mean that I don't know. It's not really Hello Kitty, is it? It's what's that silly cat they've got on? It's Rainbow Kitty or something. I mean, I think after this race, it's gonna be Grumpy Cat.
If we can find a close-up camera. What have we got? Like a... there we go. Bit of the old rear chase going on.
Well, we're just watching him coming around that oval. He's doing 250 k's, just over 250 kilometers an hour, which is about 20 miles an hour down on what the front runners are doing down that straight.
Yeah, that car is definitely seeing better days. Let's see how it handles in the braking zones. Looks okay. Catches the apex well.
Just needs to keep it nice and tidy. We've got Tim Ballinger behind him, who's currently running in 4th. I'm pretty sure Tim is going to give him a more than a wide berth.
I was about to say, if Tim knows what's good for him, he's going to want to stay where he is for 5 laps. Actually showing Tim in 3rd right now, and that's because Tom Ward had his second pit stop, so a bit earlier than what we'd expected. So definitely think Tom's got one more stop to make. So yeah, this really does, like I say, play into the hands of Marcus. I mean, he's 13 seconds behind Marcus, so it was a 48.9 second stop, so a bit quicker this time. But yeah, he's out in 6th place, 13.9 seconds behind Marcus. So they've got the same amount of stops to do now. So like I say, that puts Marcus in a really strong position, considering Seb was exactly with him, and Seb's into the box as well. So yeah, it needs to be a quick stop. I think Marcus has got this one, to be honest, unless he can't make it on fuel. That's going to be the interesting thing. If he can eke it out, then he's got it. If he can't, then it's going to be one of these two guys, I'm sure.
I'm just
back to the kitty cam as well.
They Cam and Tom. Oh, I say Cam. I've got that cat on the brain at the moment. Seb's getting ready to leave the pits. Just see where Tom is. Marcus Hamilton's coming into the pits as well, so that's a really early pit stop for him.
Yeah, there's no way then, is there? So he's jumping in, he couldn't make it, so boxing in. So our hope that he would be there or thereabouts at the end of the race, I think just gone with that. He's going to come in now. It'll be a short stop for sure, he'll close up, but he won't be able to make it. I was hoping he was going to make it all the way to the 2-hour mark. It doesn't happen. Now, look at the difference in pit stop times between Sebastian and Tom. A 41.4 for Sebastian, 48.9 for Tom. Now whether that's a full tank of fuel supposed to a little splash of, well, not a splash, but a little bit less, but it certainly broke Sebastian away. I wonder if that was tactical. Conrad there, he knew that he couldn't drop Tom, he had the pace on him, he managed to catch that gap up, but now he's going to have a bit of clear air. There's going to be no one drafting up behind him. He can really start to stretch his legs. But yeah, so huge. Tom lost way too much time in that stop.
Yeah, well, I think they definitely have one more pit stop left. All of them, and I reckon Seb might have just had a look, and he might make these two shorter stints instead of running the, filling the car up now and running it dry and doing a quick splash and dash at the end. Just shorter pit stop now, break that toe, and see if you can pull a gap on a lighter fuel load now as well.
Still, Jason and Clive having their fun. I think Jason's just content just to sit right behind Clive. I think he's just lifting behind him as well. He's just letting Clive pull him around the circuit at the moment. Knows that rough ahead is just a little bit quicker, and just using him to keep up a really good pace. I mean, he's back up and into 8th place. He's only had the one stop, so he will have another one coming, I would think, anytime soon. That's going to be interesting to see how long the Ford can go. Are we thinking maybe the Ford can get there with just one more stop? That would bring Jason back into play somewhat. Not really sure. Wonder if you could look up when Jason had his last stop, or was that just when he got involved in the crash?
Let's have a look here.
Back to the kitty cam while you're looking that up.
His it looks like his last pit stop was around lap 23, 24. So it's about the same time as when Marcus came in as well. I'm really surprised that that stint Marcus Hamilton just did was about a 13 lap stint.
John Broadmeadow into the pits as well. Looks like his connection sorted itself out. Zach into the pits as well. So those two basically at it again. There goes John. It's going to be a little while for Zach to leave. 53 second stop for John. So full tank of fuel. Where are we? I still think he's going to need a little splash before he makes it in. Zach's still stationary, so nothing happening there. Tom Ward way down the back straight of the oval section now as well, so quite a way ahead of John.
Just looking at John leaving the pits and that pit exit, I am amazed that we haven't seen anybody come out of the pits and get collected by somebody coming down the main straight.
No, me
the speed
too.
difference is immense.
Yeah, me too. We talked about it this morning off air, and we kind of expected something, but no, it's been relatively clean.
Oh, I think we've jinxed it now, so better keep an eye on the next person to come out of the pit lane, because something's bound to happen. And, have we got any?
Oh, this could be dangerous. Kitty cars close to our leader. Lets him go. Sorry, second place, Sebastian. Of course, Tim Ballinger hasn't pitted yet, so he currently takes over the lead. But yeah, Cam lets our P2 car through. Hold your breath moment there.
I see. He eventually registered a lap time, which is it's about 8-9 seconds off the pace. But at least there's a lap in there without any incidents, off tracks, a legitimate lap. I doubt this one is going to be the same the lap that he's on now.
No, there's an off track.
Yeah.
I believe they call that one track extending.
Yeah, I think we'll excuse Cam for for extending the track a little bit. He needs all the help he can get at the moment.
Oh, he's having some fun through Parabolica. Car getting a little bit loose. I'm thinking this is what, lap 3? This has got to be a third lap that he's done now.
Believe it or not, he has registered 15 laps.
But since we let him go? Or we sent him back out again?
Ooh, that's a good call. Might have to go.
Tim Ballinger, our leader, into the pits. See where he's going to come out. John Broadmiller coming through right now. Clive Lawrence not too far behind John now as well. 13 seconds behind. Let's just see, Ballinger still stationary. I think Clive's going to jump Ballinger here in the pits. Timmy's having an awful long stop. 56 seconds. I'm wondering if he pitted or something, or got a speeding penalty or something. 52 seconds. So, yeah, Clive, I tell you, that rough is definitely quick in the pit stops. That is making all the difference. Look at the 6 seconds Clive got on Marcus in the pitch. You know how those two were having a little battle as well. So Clive back and pulled away from Hamilton. So had he not been involved in that little, that's not right. Had he not stuck it into the wall when we cursed him so excellently at the start of the race, and he'd still been fighting with Seb and Tom, I think he'd have had this race in the bag come the last stop.
Yeah, I mean, the pace he's running is unbelievable. Well, we'll see. Seb has made his pit stop. He's always running at second place. I mean, Sebastian even pulled a little bit more of a gap on Marcus through that pit stop phase.
Yep.
I think the gap was 59 seconds at one point. It's now up to about a minute and 3 seconds. I definitely think Sebastian has short-fueled it to create two shorter stints, so we might see him in a little bit earlier than Tom Ward on the next round of pit stops.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a tactical call. He just couldn't break away from Tom. He definitely had the pace on him, but Tom was using that slipstream to close back up quite efficiently, and just nothing he could do at all. So it made absolute sense for him to try and do whatever it took to break away. So
I mean, it looks like, and I think Sebastian's back in the lead.
yep, Tim Ballinger pitted, 52-second stop for Tim, so very, very long one. That BMW was stationary for so long there, and 8th place, 4.4 seconds behind Marcus. So that's pretty a pretty slow stop, setting right back, considering Ballinger was right up there in sort of 4th, 5th place before the stops.
You know what, this track is so long. You try and look through the standings, trying to figure out where people are, and yeah, it's a lost cause.
Yeah, I agree totally. Back to the important kitty cam. This must be surely his 5th lap. Still going.
Yeah, he's done his outlap, and it's at least his last 2 laps. If not very fast, but extremely consistent.
Yeah, 2 minutes 53 that last time by. So yeah, like you say, that car is severely hammered. So it's probably a bit of a handful for him out there, but he's doing his bit, and I wonder who he's going to give the credit to as well.
Yeah, once he's we'll see what he does once he's done his 5 laps, and when he decides to pull it over, or if he sticks it in the wall again, we'll pull him up and find out who it's going to go to. But I mean, saying that, he's still got to complete this lap. Still got to negotiate the second Lesmo, the Scari, the Parabolica.
Oh, and he gets a little twitch coming out of the second Lesmo there. To correct it quickly. Stay on board with him.
While we're on board with him, if we're right, and Sebastian did short fuel on this stint, it's certainly working out for him. In the gap now, after that last lap, up to Tom is up to 12.6 seconds.
Yeah, it's go time really for Seb now. He has to build that gap up, because of course the opposite's going to happen. Oh, a little bit out of shape through the Parabolica there. Almost ended that 5-lap run. I'm sure he's not listening, but if he is, give us a weave as you come across the line, Cam.
Don't weave it too much.
He must have heard. There's a little weave there, surely.
He's carrying on.
Yeah.
Lap times are getting quicker as well.
Well, 5 laps done for the kitty car now, so that credit will go to him, and yeah, we'll catch up with him in a bit and find out who the rest of it's going to go to. Just jump back to the battle. Let's go. I say battle. It's not really a battle. These guys just been behind each other for a fair while now. Clive and Jason just doing their thing, 50 seconds behind the leader. I think they got a real shot at trying to close down John Broadmeadow. Maybe get a shot at a podium.
Yeah, I think Jason is driving a very smart race at the moment, and just sitting behind Clive, he's definitely going to save fuel doing that, as well as there's no at this stage of the race, there's no real point in fighting the guy in front of you if you know you're not going to pull away from him.
Yeah, Clive's doing really consistent. 2-minute 44s there as well, so it's good lap times. Not as quick as leader or Marcus, but should be. I mean, it's, on average, they're a little bit quicker than John. Not a great deal. They're actually a tiny little bit slower than Tom, so they're not going to catch up to Tom, but they might have enough in their tank just to stay ahead of Marcus Hamilton. That's going to be close, I have to say.
You might want to look away now, because the inevitable has happened. And number 74 car, the Kitty car, has spun.
Well, I must have missed it. We just slipped away for a second. So it wasn't on screen, but he's done his 5 laps anyway, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, anything he does from now on is a bonus.
Hamilton coming up to the back of Zach ahead of him, so KRF car in danger of dropping down to 7th place. Hamilton lapping sort of 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster. Well, no, that's probably not true. About 2 seconds a lap faster on average. So I would think he'd be able to get past Zach pretty quickly, but pulling away is going to be a completely different thing. We've seen that.
Yeah, I'm still quietly hoping that that we've missed something in terms of fuel strategy and that kind of thing. It was somewhere along the line, and that Marcus has got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, I think if he'd have pitted in around now, I think he could have like map 2'd it or map 3 or something like that to the end, and he would have been really, really close. But yeah, when he pitted in, I think that was it. That was the end of that. The interesting driver I think that I'm perhaps looking at now is Jason, tucked up behind Clive Lawrence. I can't help but think that he's got a massive amount of fuel saving going on. And he only needs 1 stop left. He is 50 seconds behind though, so I think if he can go another 10 laps or so, then that'll bring him back into a reasonable place. But if he pits in the next lap or 2, then he's going to be out of it as well.
Yeah, we're just looking at them coming down to turn 5. He's quite content not to go for the overtake at the moment.
Yeah, Hamilton up and past. Zach goes a little bit defensive into turn 5. Catches the apex lovely. It's a good drive. Zach perhaps didn't quite get the line right, didn't tuck him behind there. That's going to push him back, and this is probably the one area of the track that you can break away if you nail it. So Zach needs a good couple of corners here through second chicane and the 2 Lesmos if he's going to stay on the back of Marcus, and hopefully use Marcus to help him pull him around the circuit a bit. Another 0.1 of a second loss through there. You know, it's a whopping 1.7 to 1.9 seconds back that you get a bit of draft, but 1.1 through the first Lesmo. Now 1.3, 1.4, gets into the gravel as well, loses a little bit more time. I think Marcus has got him, got that slipstream broke already, so...
Yeah, his car's pretty planted going through those corners, and Zach has been very consistent, running in the 2-minute 45s, 46s the whole race. and keeping his car in one piece, which is highly beneficial, as we've seen today.
Another little battle that's starting to form up. We haven't seen much of Alex Marshall, but of course Alex, Tim and Scott, spoke to Scott earlier on, had their issues on the first lap, unfortunately, setting back a lap. But 17th place, closing in on Lance Hawes ahead of them at the moment, just 1.2 seconds back. So 16th and 17th, so good that they've been able to carry on racing, and I've got a little battle going on with the last hour of the race to go.
I think it's sort of, to a certain extent, all the havoc that was created as Alex Marshall gets a little bit squirrely coming out of Parabolica. It's thrown up some interesting races, interesting fights.
Yeah, back to 2.3. So yeah, lost quite a bit of time coming out of there. Any team that seems to have Scott and Union, I can curse pretty well. So I'll take this moment to jump off and jump back on board with Jason. Ford GT just sounds so beefy when we jump on. Deafens me a little bit. Who have they got tucked up behind them? Because that car's been there a little while actually.
Is that behind?
In the McLaren behind Jason and Clive.
Well, now you've asked me the $1 million question. Well, that is Cristobal J. Lopez from FRT Hawkers. He's currently running in 15th place, doing good laps. So I think he must have been their car must have been involved in a crash somewhere early in the race.
Yep.
And he's running with Ernesto Bueno in the team. So this is Cristobal's second stint. That he took over a couple of laps ago, lap 39, and he got back into the car.
Yeah, they're only 5 seconds behind the 360 car as well, so that's just going through Parabolica now. So there's a possibility, although that time seems to have jumped up all of a sudden, so no, it's only 5 seconds. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Warren Lenderman into the pits, that's why, just a little change of position. So and also into the pits is our Ford GT, Jason in as well. So he's got 58 minutes. I'm pretty sure he's good to go to the end. Cam Stark's pulled the car back into the pits. He's done his 5 laps. Pretty happy with that. Cam, if you're listening on the broadcast at the moment, I know you're in the spectator chat. Whatnot there, just let us know who you want the $5 worth of iRacing credit to go to, and we'll announce it on the air.
That was just Mr. Warren Landman has made a pit stop as well. Obviously he's a fellow South African running in that beautiful green and gold of our prized rugby team.
Warren came out just in front of Lance Hawes. Lance, of course, got the momentum in the oval section to drive straight around the outside. Don't think he'll have enough momentum to break the draft, though, so Warren should be able to use that to get back up to speed just a little bit quicker. Of course, he is in the slightly slower BMW, and I have to say they've really struggled here today around this config, and I think there'll be a few drivers that will duly note that for the Blancpain Endurance Series coming up as well.
Yeah, when we decided on a track and car combination, we thought this would be a perfect opportunity to give people not too many issues with setups, and just let them go at it, pedal to the metal. But with this new tyre model, it would appear that setting up the car has become a little bit trickier than we all expected.
Just having a look at another little battle that's starting to form as well. Tim Ballinger closing in on the back of Ruben, just ahead of him. So Tim, our top place BMW today, he's been pretty much there or thereabouts the whole race. Was caught up a little bit in the incident on the was it about the 5th or 6th lap, was it, when we had the incident on the oval?
Yeah, it was
done a great job.
3 or 4. But Ruben, the car in front of him right now is Ruben Suarez Gutierrez from FRT Hawkers International, and they've just sort of crept up on us. They've kept their noses clean and slowly but surely just driven themselves into that top 10 spot.
Right, it's been 2 hours. I'm just having a look at my air time, see who has had the least. Well, okay, Brendan Tills. Brendan, there you are, buddy. This car has had no focus at all during this race. They've been in the middle of nowhere. But we're not going to leave anybody out of this of the broadcast. So right now, it's currently running 19th place, did a 2-minute 48. So had some issues, struggling a little bit out there with pace, but doing their thing. Who else has been in the car with Brendan today? Conrad, anyone?
Brendan's been running this car on his own from the start of the race. I think he's the only man occupying that cockpit. But I have to say, I think Brendan Tills and I'm pretty sure. I was sure there was another inside line racing car that was going to be on track. But they've been very generous in their donations for the charity as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of the other drivers that had not a great deal of airtime as well. Andrew here as well. This car has not had a great deal, just 50 seconds of airtime so far. Currently sat in 12th place.
That's the TD Racing BMW, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's you've got Andrew Kanowski and Aaron Osborne has been running that particular car today, and I've come across it a couple of times. A very nicely painted car indeed.
Yeah, they're 40 seconds behind Lee Thompson right now. So again, don't quite know what happened to them at the start, but they're 2 laps down. They really have been sort of middle of nowhere really all race while. They've not had too much airtime. So, but doing their thing. You never know. Top 10 still might be on the cards if we have another accident or anything else like that out there. So, yeah, like you say, nice livery on that car. So deserves some airtime at least. I think everybody else has had a reasonable amount in there as well. Although that said, Lance Hawes, he's been running the whole race on his own as well. I think he's only had a few seconds as well, so Lance deserves a little bit. Tim Ballinger and Ruben exchanging positions further up the road. We'll have a look at that in a moment, but yeah, just to give Lance a shout. I know certainly we've seen him have some battles, but never actually any focus. I think you might have also heard from our kitty car about who should get the credits, Conrad.
I think somebody sent me a message.
Yeah, I think you might have Messenger.
He's gonna. I think this is more a peace offering than a prize. He's kindly nominated Mr. Hamilton for those $5, and I'll make sure I'll send that on to Mr. Hamilton along with an apology note.
Yep, he sent me the same message as well. Wants to give it to Marcus. One, because he was caught up in the kitty litter wreck, and two, because of the great fight through the field as well. And I have to agree with him as well. Top 5 position at the moment for Marcus. We've got an hour left. There's still a possibility that he can close into the back of Clive Lawrence. Clive just ahead of him. So about 10 seconds is the gap. I have to say, with the time advantage that the rough has in the pits, that's going to bring that. While he might close up, I think Clive might be able to jump away again through the pits. So it's going to be a tall order for Marcus, especially if Clive doesn't make any mistakes. And I'm going to jump off of Clive very quickly because we already cursed him once in this race.
We can have a look. Yeah, I rest assured, Marcus's last lap time was at 2:42.8, and Clive did a 2:44.8, in the whole 2 seconds. So Marcus might close up to him a little bit quicker than we think.
Yeah, actually, that's quite a considerable difference in lap time. So just going to be what's that going to be? 4 laps, 5 laps at that sort of pace, and he'll be on him. Well, that is quite a bit of time in on this circuit, so closing into about quarter of an hour. So we could be due pit stops at that point, which might well put Clive back sort of 6 or 7, maybe even 10 seconds ahead again.
Just having a little look at the track map that I'm running on. On my other PC, and for a second there, every single one of the cars still running was either on the oval or the little bit of the rest of the track that's sort of engulfed within the oval. So there's they are sort of heading towards a big bunching up at some point or another. Well, all of these guys running at the front and being lapped and running somewhere in the middle are all going to come together.
Lee Thompson jumps in for his final pit stop, I believe. So yeah, he's got 50 minutes to run, so should be no problem in the Z4 for him. As we're looking at Tim Ballinger still racing Ruben ahead of him. Just bring up what's going on with the top 10 at the moment. Sebastian Job, 22.1 seconds ahead. He's done exactly what he needed to do in this stint. Conrad built that gap up. John Broadmeadow 43 seconds behind him. So, and then Clive Lawrence 56 seconds. So the top 5 from 3rd to 5th actually pretty close. I think Tom's going to need an absolute crazy quick pit stop if he dare risk it. No tyre, splash of fuel. Maybe to get back into the same sort of area as Seb, but I think if he changes tyres as well, then I can't see there's any way of him catching the young driver up front.
No, Tom is just coming into the pits. He's that gap is going to open up, and yeah, I think he just had a moment hitting the wall in the exit of Ascari as well.
Oh, that's even more interesting then. Yeah, let's just see if we can look at that back on replay. Yeah, actually this is him coming out around Parabolica, so we'll go back a little further, see if we can see that incident. Was it a light touch or a fairly big one?
No, it was pretty it's considerable amount of damage he picked up from that. But from the looks of it, he still had
Clive Lawrence also into the pits as well, so Clive good to go from here.
Looks like Tom still had a fast toe left, so he's coming out of the pits with a brand new car.
Oh yeah, he just got himself out of shape. Caught that inside curb. You could see the rear end was going to go, and he reacted to it really quickly. Let's have a look at that one from on board, because you should see that the car will snap back to the right, I think, when he's trying to save it to the left. There you go, you can just see it go, he catches it, and then it just goes, catches the curb, nastily into the wall. Yeah, that's a massive hit, and fortunately for him, he's got that fast repair left. Car didn't look too badly damaged, but it's probably lost him, I would say, maybe 10-15 seconds there.
Clive's just making his way out of the pits now.
And interestingly, Clive has come out 15 seconds behind Jason in his Ford GT, so that is where the Ford GT comes into its own. Look at the difference in pit stop time, 35.1 seconds compared to 55. We know Jason is good to go to the end as well. So that could well, with Tom's mistake, that could well put Jason up into third place at the end of this race. So all that fuel saving may have come into a huge play at the end here. Slow stop from Clive though, 55 seconds. That's the slowest we've seen from him all race long. So yeah, maybe he had to completely brim it, or maybe a pit lane speeding violation or something.
Yeah, we looked alright going into the pits. It was just stationary for a very long time.
Tom Ward still stationary as well, so not sure what's going on with Tom. It's a minute and 30, so maybe he's not got any fast repairs left. Didn't have that much damage, but you know what it's like if you don't untick them. If you've just had the tiniest little bit of damage, the sim will repair the car instantly for you when you box, and that might well have come back and bit Tom Ward, and he's now down in 10th place. Still waiting for the repairs on that car. He'll be gutted with that. It's good that they've added that option, but a lot of drivers still forget about it.
Well, there is I reckon there is some flaws still in it. I mean, we ran the UKNI Indy 500 on Wednesday, where we had a fast repair, and I unfortunately was involved in an accident, and I ticked the box just before I entered the pit lane, and on my screen the car was fine. You know, physically the car looked fine. Coming out of the pits was a whole different story, which meant I had to take another pit stop for it to get fixed.
Nightmare. Just there's been 3 cars all jumped in the pit at the same time, and that is Ruben, Tim Ballinger and Zach. All 3 drivers jumped in, so let's see how they go, because that's going to be pretty much a race off the pits, I think, here. See who has the quickest stop. Sebastian still hasn't pitted as well. John Broadmeadow's still out there. Hamilton now up into third place. Jason's just come steaming by that gaggle as well, so he's up into 4th place. I tell you, that strategy, saving all that fuel behind Clive, that is going to come out trumps. He's going to have a great result considering where he was after that crash. I think he's going to be close to beating Marcus as well. He's still well within a pit stop of him, so first
Tim
car
Ballinger's first out of the pits.
Tim Ballinger. Clive Lawrence well and truly past them, but Ballinger out miles ahead of the rest of them. Here comes Colin's just going to get ahead of them in the BMW behind them. Zach comes out next, and then we've got Ruben still sat in that box. Oh, this is a massive stop for Ruben. 58 seconds at this point. Why so long? Yeah, 58.1 second stop for Ruben. So same as Clive, the last stop for the roughs all of a sudden seemed to be really long. I'm not sure why all of a sudden.
Yeah, we were talking the whole race about how they had the advantage of having shorter pit stops, and all of a sudden it seems like the pit crews have backed it in for the day.
John Broadmeadow still hasn't pitted yet. He's 20 seconds ahead of Marcus Hamilton, but if he has a 50-odd second stop as well, and Marcus only a 45 second or something like that, again, that's going to bring him under 15 seconds with about 40 minutes of the race left, or 35 by the time they actually get around, I would think. That still brings Marcus in with a shot of a podium, but I think at this point we're probably looking at a battle between John and Jason for a good race, and actually although the battle for second place could be pretty epic in the closing stages. Job into the I thought he was into the pit, sorry, but just going slow through the chicane.
Right, I'm just looking through John's lap times, trying to figure out when he made his pit stops. So he had a pit stop on lap 19, and then again on lap 38. So it looks like he's able to squeeze about 19 laps of stint out of there. That means he's still got about 6-7 laps he should have in the tank.
So it really is
He's
just
running
going
at
to
the
be a little
moment.
splash, isn't it, for him?
Yeah, he's going to need about a half a tank of fuel when he pits again to make it to the end.
Good
No,
battle going on between
unfortunately-
Tim and Colin. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, unfortunately, I see Tom Ward has disconnected.
Yep.
Which is,
Too long getting that car repaired, unfortunately. Just not deselecting the fast repairs there's cost him a really good result. I think he would have still had second place even with that accident. So yeah, gutted for Tom. He was having such a good race out there.
Yeah, that's a real shame. He was looking so good earlier in the race, and then just sort of systematically one thing after the other just went a little bit wrong. Saying all of that, one man I'm gonna pull up here at some point or another is the Team Cheese and Wine driver, Mr. John Broadmeadow, as he gets a little bit squirrely through a Scari, but keeping it all intact. We've had to sit on TeamSpeak time and time again, listening to him moan about how much heavier he is on fuel than everybody else. And it comes into this race, and he's staying out there longer than everybody else, and running in second place after starting from the back of the grid with not setting a quality time. As I say that, he's popping into the lap, into the pits.
Yeah, so he's 17 seconds ahead of Hamilton, who we expect Hamilton to have another little pit, don't we? Probably in about 10 minutes time or so. Half an hour splash at the end. Seb's pit time actually looks remarkably quick now. Actually, no, Seb's into the pits as well. So, because I was thinking he's going so long here. But, yeah, Hamilton takes the lead of the race. Seb comes out of the box now, so, yeah, we know that he's going to have a stop. But, yeah, what a great drive for Hamilton to get his way back up into the lead, even if it is off strategy at the moment. Where's Broadmeadow going to come out? That's going to be the interesting thing. Is Jason going to be close to him? Where is Jason right now? He's just coming out of a Scari. Broadmeadow's away, so he's comfortably in third place at the moment.
It's good to see as all the cars pulling off out of the pit lane. That we still got the Kitty car on display for those who want to view it every now and again.
Yeah, good stop from John, 36.7 seconds, so that was 20 seconds quicker than his last stop. So that's pretty huge. And yeah, it's definitely brought him into a reasonably safe position, I would think. Where is Marcus right now? He's just going through turn 5. So, I'll tell you what we're going to do, Conrad. We'll go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for the final half hour of this race.
Excellent.
Stay with us here on Apex Racing TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Five seconds he's got to Clive. Clive's coming through. Clive's got him easily.
Yeah, welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson, Conrad Venser for the final half hour of the Apex Racing UK Diabetes UK charity event put on by our co-commentator here, Conrad. Event's gone awesome at the moment, mate. We've had some great racing. Things are starting to sort of take shape now in the last half hour. We thought Jason in his Ford GT was going to be good to go to the end. Unfortunately, he needs a splash of fuel as well. That sets him down in 7th place. He comes out just behind Zach, so those two are probably going to have a battle to the end. But at the moment, we've got Sebastian Job leading now by 30 seconds over John Broadmeadow. So John, great job from the very back of the pack at the start of this race. Marcus Hamilton fought his way back up to 3rd place after being involved in pretty horrific crash on about lap 5 of this race. Clive Lawrence also, no, sorry, he wasn't involved in that crash, was he, Clive? He was, he had a little excursion of his own doing, just before a pit stop window. He's 4.5 seconds back, so those two might have a fairly reasonable race. Just depends how traffic goes, but 4.5 seconds between them now. Quick stop from Marcus, leapfrogged Clive in the pits there.
Yeah, we've got. There's a couple of guys it's not separated by too much. We've got Colin Schreck in 6th place from TD Racing, and he has got Zach Shaler not too far behind him. Both have just negotiated the first chicane, and followed by Jason De Vries, who, like we said, had to make that late pit stop. And they are just following one another. Tim Ballinger is just a couple of seconds behind Jason as well. So there's a possibility for this. Was it 4 cars sort of close up towards each other, and in the last half hour, what we've got.
Also, another little battle further on that's going on is Warren Landman and Aaron Osborne. They're having a great little battle out there at the moment. Just getting a couple of questions in at the moment, Conrad, just to recap what we covered at the start of this race, which was how much money actually have we raised so far for Diabetes UK?
Just from the iRacing community on its own, it's about 460 or 470 pounds, and that is not including the gift aid at all. So I mean, once I've counted that up, it's going to be well over 500, close to 600 pounds.
Yeah, which is absolutely awesome. So super happy for that, and for the charity as well. So, and look forward to them giving you a big thank you after you hand over the check.
Oh, well, it's just all of these guys racing today, and that I should be saying thank you to. I mean, the only thing I've done is put up a thread in the iRacing forums and hosting a race. They've done the race. They've donated the money, and they've thoroughly entertained us for the last 2.5 hours today. And I've just had the privilege of sitting back and watching the money come in through the last couple of weeks, and then I get to sit in the comments box with you and watch the race unfold.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting race, and a lot of chops and changes, and anything could have happened. I think the front 5 have sort of settled themselves down, but yeah, this battle really for 5th, 6th, 7th, reasonably close. I mean, I don't think, unless anything goes wrong, that Jason's going to close in on Colin ahead of him. 7 seconds between them right now. Let's have a look. It's hard to tell with the lap times as Jason's just come out of the pits, but yeah, that could close in. But certainly Zach and Colin are having a good battle out there.
I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of the teams that we've got racing today. One of them is the KRF Motorsports guys, who's especially has gone and created a skin just for this event, and they're running the Diabetes UK logo on their car as well, and the whole paint scheme looks awesome. And another team that has done it are the guys from 4X Racing, and they've created a skin and running the Diabetes UK logo on the car as well. Which car
number are they? Let's have a quick look at them on.
We've got car 360 with Peter Fostrell in it.
Have a look at them at the moment. They're just tucked in the middle of a battle with Lopez here, so let's see if we can get a good shot of this car. Hopefully the Trading Paints has picked up on it.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Just can't quite get a really good view of it. But yeah, nice livery nonetheless. Can't get quite close enough for you to catch the charity logo on there, but we're sure it is on there.
I mean, the guys did it in the last charity race we did as well. The guys did it as well, and they've done it now. And yeah, apart from donating their money, they've spent their free time, purposely making a skin for the car for the event as well. We can't fault the effort that people have gone through to participate in the event. It's amazing.
Yeah, great to see actually, and considering we only recently, well, just like on Wednesday, had another sort of donation event run in the UK and I on that Indy 500 as well. A lot of money donated for Chris and his and Pamela as well. So just goes to show actually when you need a little bit of support from the iRacing community, they don't half come together and help you with the fundraising. So I think that's close to £1,000 worth of donations in 1 week we've had from the iRacing community. So Matt Dalton put on that event on Wednesday as well. That was great. Obviously we were lucky enough to take part in that event. Conrad had a good night's racing. You had a lot of fun out there. I certainly know I had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun for you guys running up front. I certainly had a lot of fun trying to make my way through the field after my little excursion into the wall. But I mean, it's when it comes to doing stuff for charity, and it's just you don't mind ending up in the wall or having an incident, and it's all for a good cause.
Having a quick look, Colin closing in on the back of Zach. These guys have been battling for a little while now, exchanging positions, but Colin probably not where he wants to be. Knows that the McLaren ahead of him is a little bit faster, needs to try and get back tucked up behind the wing of that if he's going to hold on. This is really what Zach needs to do. Good couple of laps now to try and break away. Unfortunately he's in the section of the track where the draft is going to come into effect. Needs a really good parabolic turn here. Actually, that was pretty tasty. We'll pulled away 0.2 of a second through there. Absolutely on the limit there around the outside, and actually it looks like Colin's coming into the pits as well, so that battle is pretty much done and dusted. So very late stop for Colin. Obviously eked it out through the first 2 stints, and this just goes to show this is about as far as you could take it. You'd have had to have saved an extortionate amount of fuel to have made up some sort of 20 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to get a little update on some of the guys running up front. Obviously, Sebastian is in the lead. He's way in front. I think he's running mid 244s right now, so I think he's taking it pretty easy. John Broadmeadow still running. Marcus Hamilton, driver of the day, surely. After that early incident, making his way all the way up to it's a 3rd place podium spot. And then it looks like Clive at some point or another in the last 3 laps has had another encounter, donating some paint to a wall or a barrier of some sort, because his car looks in pretty bad shape, and his lap times have dropped off a little bit as well, running the 246s and 247s, but still running in a solid 4th place. And then in 5th place we have Zach Shell in the KRF ATS Motorsports car. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on his lap times, because his last lap was a 245.6. So he's running about 1.5 to 2 seconds faster than Clive is with his damaged car in front of him. So there might be an opportunity there for a little battle come the last lap or 2.
Yeah, Jason slowly closed in on the back of Zach as well, but not enough. Only about half a second a lap on average, 7 seconds back. So these laps taken to 2 minutes 40 plus to complete. It's just not going to be enough pace to get up to him. Need about 25-30 minutes to do it at that sort of rate. So any kind of mistake from Zach though, and Jason is in with a chance of a top 5 finish. Obviously Jason, another driver that was caught up in that incident, along with Marcus Hamilton and the kitty car. So yeah, good recovery drive from him, and he eked so much fuel out behind Clive earlier on. We thought perhaps he was good to go to the end. Just 1 minute 40 behind. Without that extra pit stop that he needed, would have only been about a minute behind, so would have been in and around that 3rd position. So shame for him, but no doubt a great job in recovering it back into 6th place, maybe with a shot of a top 5. Let's have a look to see what his lap time was as he crossed the line. Actually slightly slower than Zach that time, so those guys are staying pretty static. So I think those positions now, top 6, pretty much locked in place, unless of course Clive drops back into Zach's clutches. But Clive picked up the lap times that time as well, 1:46.9, so it was only 1.5 seconds, so should still be able to hold on to this.
One tasty battle that's shaping up is between 7th and 8th place. As the 7th place is the TD Racing car with Tim Ballinger in it. Is it Tim?
It's Tim.
And the FRT Hawkers International car with Ruben Gutierrez.
Not sure about it being tasty. Here comes Rubens. Look at the speed difference that the Rough has compared to the BMW. That is just absolutely crazy. Just flew straight past him. Nothing Tim could do. He tucks back in the draft just to try and hold on now. But Rubens just come flying through there.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. Wow! That Rough was flying down that back straight on the oval. Ruben taking a much tighter line.
Ruben's lapping considerably quicker than Tim at the moment as well. Tim has got a little damage on the front right of that BMW, so maybe that's holding him back. Let's see if he can stay with him. He'll have to stay tucked up in the draft. We've said this time and time again, but yeah, that front right's not helping him. Maybe affects him a little bit with the straight line speed there, because that was like candy from a baby.
Somebody needs to check that Rough. I'm pretty sure it's got some DRS flap or something in it. That just looked mighty going down the straight down towards the chicane.
As we see.
We've said all race long as well, the BMW not the greatest in a straight line. So even if he can keep in the draft, there's no guarantee that he's gonna be able to carry enough speed to overtake the Rough again.
Yeah, Ballinger probably a little bit quicker through the corners had he not got the damage. Now it just looks like that's sort of been equalised through there, so gonna just need to use the slipstream the best he possibly can. A lot quicker through the Parabolica. That's where the BMW has its advantage, you see, through those sort of medium speed corners. Gonna get a run, but I'm not sure he's gonna have enough straight line speed. We're just looking at it at the moment, and actually you can see, even though the draft is in effect, Ruben's still able to pull away, even though Tim is in the slipstream.
That's the first time we've seen that today, where the car in front is visibly driving away from the one behind. I think that damage is really hurting Tim.
Yeah, he's not able to keep up at all. 180 kilometers an hour for the Rough there, and the BMW just about to hit 180 now. It's still 1 kilometer an hour slower, even down that back straight in the draft. So yeah, all it's really doing is just staying with. It's not actually able to close up at all through this section of the circuit.
I tell you what, this race with this, it's got very high speed straights, and it's got a couple of chicanes where you have to slow right down. It's really giving me a different perception on the abilities of the different speed cars we've got in iRacing.
We've got Brendan Tills having moments out there He's probably exhausted. Several drivers obviously doing the whole race on their own, all 3 hours. And yeah, he just had a little spin going over the second chicane before the Lesmos. And yeah, just trying to recover it back there. Got himself all out of shape and just had another little insta spin straight ahead of some traffic, but they all managed to get through unharmed. And we've got Lopez into the pits as well. So he's in 10th place. That's going to set him back a little bit. Ballinger closed back up through the twistier section of the circuit. But again, we just see that rough just open, you know, open up. The throttle just starts to pull away. I think the damage is not helping Tim at all. That he would have been able to close in even with the draft and slightly slower car. But as it is, he's just got the advantage through these type of corners right now. Good exit out of Ascari, but still the rough just pulls away.
Right. So as we come into the end of this race, or entering the last 20 minutes, I thought it would be a good opportunity if we can give away a couple of these $5 vouchers. That would be great. I thought one we'll decide after the race for the Clean X award. Granted, I don't think anybody's going to walk away from this race without picking up some kind of incident, but we'll throw a couple of bucks towards the person who's picked up the least amount. And my wife has just put some cufflinks. If there's any rugby supporters watching the stream or taking part in the race and they would like to have some cufflinks that's shaped like a Welsh rugby shirt, let me know. We've got 2 sets of them to give away as well.
Oh well, that goes to everybody's watching, driving. Yeah, just say now if you're interested and get yourself some cufflinks.
I would take a set for myself, but as you can imagine, being a South African rugby supporter, the chances of me ever wearing anything Welsh on me is very slim. Hi, Alex. Would you like to? We've obviously had a good look at most of the cars that's been running today. Favorite livery that you've seen so far today?
Well, that's a tough one. Gonna go back through them actually. I think the KRF one stands out as pretty decent for me. Let's just flip through them and remind myself of all of them. Oh, I do like Jason's board. That looks quite nice out there. Certainly a bit different. Ruben's fairly straightforward. So's Tim. They're having a great battle still out there actually. Following as the camera just goes on board, not helping me out one tiny little bit.
Hey, while you flipping through there, right?
Aaron Osborne's looks nice. I think, to be honest, I'm going to give it to the KRF guys. I think they've done a great job and you know, gone to the effort as well to put the logo on there. So I'm going to pull that one out as my favourite for the race.
Is that the number 18 car with Daniel Acklin at the wheel at the moment?
Just bring that one up on screen. Actually, yeah, the blue, I like that one as well. Yeah, we'll go with that one, definitely. All of them look quite nice out there. But,
or did I just talk a certain KRF?
No,
KRF
no, it's fine. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I just think generally just needs to go to the KRF guys. They can decide who it is that's going to have it.
Oh, who's going? Oh, smoke coming down towards. Oh, somebody's in the wall.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So definitely a lot going on there as well. That's Petra there as well, wasn't it? So another one of them having their issues. But yeah, no, actually Daniels in the Ford, I like that one best as well of the KRS. So yeah, definitely to that one. That really stands out.
Well, I'll get that guy's noted down in a second. We just had Cristobal J. Lopez and one of our favorite livery cars, the Forward Racing red car with Peter Vostrel coming together. Down that second long straight down towards the first chicane.
Yeah, Vostrel's still stationary. He's had to tow it back with just 10 minutes left of the race. He'll be gutted. Gutted for that one, totally.
Yeah, it just looks like the McLaren got a little bit squirrely coming out of the oval section, and they came together. And we've seen early in the race, two cars come together, and the oval, it's not gonna end well for anybody. And then, just for good measure, I think as Warren Landman was coming through, and the slow-moving cars caught him by a little bit of surprise. He had to catch a bit of grass to get by as well. Right, so the number 18 car, we've got Mr. Daniel Ackland and Bradley Matheson. We shall be sending some $5 vouchers their way as well.
Yeah, as we see that on screen now, massive Diabetes UK on their rear wing, fully deserved. Really adopted it in a big style for that car.
Hey, you know what these what the Aussies are like? You either go big or you go home.
Warren unfortunately having to have a pit as well. Lopez is out. Ballinger still can't get enough of a run to get by Ruben. I think all Ruben needs to do is just keep it pointing forward, and he's got that 7th place wrapped up. Zach closing in on Clive, 4.4 seconds. What have we got left? Another 3 laps. At this pace, he's going to be on him with 1 lap to go, you know. That's
12 minutes, 3 minutes lap, about 4 odd laps?
Yeah, 9 minutes 10 we got, is the countdown showing. So, yeah. Just depends where our leader crosses the line, whether we're going to get an extra lap in or not, I think. So, yeah, Zach's got an opportunity to get into 4th right at the end of this race.
Yeah, Zach's in McLaren as well, and Clive is in a badly damaged rough, so I'm afraid, I think if Zach manages to catch up with him, Clive is not going to have an answer down the straight. That McLaren of Scheller is just, it's riding the curbs amazingly.
It's interesting actually, because I know a couple of builds back everyone was moaning how bad the McLaren was over the curbs and the bumps and stuff like that. It seems like iRacing have really tried to sort that out in the latest build, just to make it, you know, at least comparable to the others, and actually gone a little bit extreme, and now actually it's really good over the curbs as well, and really fast in a straight line. So I dare say we're going to see this car be adopted a lot in the next season.
Yeah, I was just looking at him when he went through the second chicane before the Lesmond
Oh,
corners.
we've got a spinner ahead of him as well. Who was that? Who spun?
That's
it's
Clive.
Ascari. Oh, he's had his woes there today. He'll be really annoyed with that. He's going to lose another place. There goes Jason. They've had a good battle all race along, those two. He's got 25 seconds to the next car, which is Ruben, so should be able to hold on to that. But yeah, it's in worse condition now. He's got another 3 laps to do. He's going to bring it into the pits, so he might actually lose a place here to Ruben too. He's decided he needs to pit to get some repairs. That's going to be Ruben and Tim, I would think, that are both going to jump him. So right at the end, Clive was worried about that all race long, that he would have issues surviving his stints, because he was getting a lot of tyre overheating, and yeah, that's bit him again through Ascari. Quick little repair, he's back underway. have a fresh car, but he'll still be on the same fuel and same tyres. So I don't think he's. It was lapping. What was he? 244s? You're 243. You're on. He's 7 point so seconds now. There's no chance he's going to catch Tim and Ruben unless they start really battling.
Obviously, it couldn't have gone that badly for Clive through the race. He's got a brand new car coming out of the pit, so he's managed to keep some fast repairs intact.
Yeah, he had that stint, didn't he, when he was being followed by Jason earlier on. Those guys just banging in lap after lap, no issues whatsoever there, and that made it happen. I've just seen something on track that's going to make the whole audience happy as we flip to it. Car number 74, Kitty car, back on circuit right now. Currently our fifth place driver's just putting a lap on it. Gets very close under braking, but yeah, so start back out there as well. Just trying to do a couple of little more laps. Obviously wanted a little bit more air time.
Yeah, it's like
I feel
amazing that car is still running.
Yeah. If I filter my drivers list by on air time, he's currently set he's had the seventh highest airtime in this race, and he's 44 laps down. How does that work?
Well, obviously, I mean, when you do stuff on track that attracts attention, good or bad, then it gets you some screen time.
Well, good on Cam for just trying to get the last few laps in as well, and we just want one more trip through the Kitty Litter just for us.
Honestly, I don't know how that car is still running as he goes wide, coming out of the last corner, but it's coming back into the pits again. It's just a bit of a reconnaissance lap. I don't know if you've ever seen get these old knackered buses, usually in third world countries, where the body is sitting it's been through so much abuse through the years that the body is not sitting correctly on the chassis anymore. So you've got the body pointing in one direction, and the rest of the chassis is running in a different direction, going down the road. That's exactly what that kitty car looks like. Just a quick stop for him, and he's on his way again.
Also needed a bit more fuel to make it to the end.
I'm sure there's multiple holes in that fuel tank. I won't be surprised if we see him pitting before the end of the race again.
Looks like just having a little look at a battle going on between Pat O'Hara and Brendan Tills here, 14th and 15th. They've been sort of on their own for quite a bit of this race, but all of a sudden come together just at the end. So looks like Brendan's got a fair bit of damage on the left-hand side of that, the front left of that BMW, but still wants to try and have a good battle with Pat out there, just for the closing 2 laps.
Yeah, it's nice to see the guys all the way down the field.
And I said that, and carnage coming out of the turn 5 chicane there for Brendan. So yeah, disaster. Commentator's curse again at his best.
We should pick our moments, don't we? You seem to have everything under control, and then just on the exit decided that all those cones, little polystyrene bollards didn't see enough action through the race, and rearranging them a little bit for us.
Ballinger completely lost the draft now of Ruben. Ruben's about 3 seconds up the road, so pretty comfortable. Jason another 17 seconds up the road from him. He's done a great job in that Ford GT. 5.4 seconds behind Zach at the moment. Zach, I think, pretty comfortable where he is now. He's a long way back from Marcus Hamilton. but I can't see there being any change behind. They're lapping very similar sort of times. Hamilton still lapping, well, actually wasn't the quickest driver out there. Last lap, the quickest driver was our race leader, Sebastian Job. So Seb done a great job. He made the call earlier on, didn't he, Conrad, to come in, take a short stint of fuel, get away from Tom, who was definitely using that draft to full effect to keep with him. But yeah, that gave him the lead that he needed, and he's been able to pull away from that, from the whole field there. But yeah, great strategy, great drive from him.
Yeah, you certainly took the decision very early on to do something different to try and win the race, and along with Marcus Hamilton's drive today, Seb absolutely played the strategy game brilliantly.
I think the top three need a shout out today, really, for and could all get the award of driver of the day. I mean, John from the back row up to second place, faultless drive. I mean, he's 38 seconds behind Seb. That is, the field separation can cause you 38 seconds here in a matter of about 4 or 5 laps. So there was that huge wreck that he had to avoid at the start as well, which he got through. You have to say, he's had a great drive as well. Second place, he'll be delighted with that when he finishes. He's going to get through. We will be on the last lap now as well. Seb just going through the oval section right now. Great to see the two sections of the track straight on fight between the two cars in different parts there. But yeah, great drive from him. And then, like you say, Marcus here coming through. White flag has come out now as well, so drivers are on their last lap.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant race. We've seen, I'm sure, some drivers might not share the same view, but I mean, from the viewer's perspective, all the battles on the track, and guys making their way up through the field has been brilliant. It's been really good, and like you say, Team Cheese and Wine. Started all the way down in 25th place, kept it clean, kept it tidy, all the way up into second. And dare I make a prediction now? I think John's going to be pretty close to having the least amount of incidents in the race as well.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. So looks like John might get the Kleenex award. I know he picks up a fair few of those as well in the Neo Championship. I think it was the Neo GT. He got a fair few of those as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it's always the HPD driver's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, as we're just watching Sebastian behind the kitty car, coming up to the final corner.
Something tells me that is not by accident.
Yeah, Sebastian lifts as well. He doesn't want any of it at all. He knows what Cam's up to. Last lap, try and get some more attention on camera. For Cam and the kitty car.
Yeah, Sebastian obviously in close proximity to Seb.
Oh, and he's lost it. He's going to make it across the line. No, he's not.
There he goes.
Oh, he's on his roof as well. Well done to Sebastian Job, though. Takes victory here. John Broadmeadow going to come across. Stark, he's back pointing forwards, but crosses the line. But yeah, let's stay with Broadmeadow as he comes down into the Parabolica for the final time today in that rough. What a great drive from the back of the field. He's surely going to have a wiggle as he crosses the line. What a great result. Short sifts coming out of there.
Come on, John, give us a wiggle. There we go.
Weaving away.
Don't follow the kitty car's example. A brilliant result. And we've got Marcus Hamilton coming across the finish line as well for a brilliant third place. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Good drive from the Friction Racing driver there involved in that crash. Recovered back up onto the podium. Oh, I tell you what, there's a little battle starting to form between Tim and Clive. 1 second separate those. But Zach, we should take this 4th place pretty comfortably. We'll stay with him for the moment, just while he crosses the line. Jason just 5 seconds back from Zach as well in the rough. We just saw him, there he is in the background, exiting Ascari. But yeah, Zach did a great job actually out there on his own. All the top guys have been. But yeah, that'll delight KRF and Mark and of course Zach as well for that result. Awesome drive. 4th place. There goes Jason as well. Great drive in the Ford, highest running Ford. Ruben coming round Ascari, Parabolica now as well. Good drive from Ruben. Didn't make too many mistakes either. And yeah, he's going to get 6th place overall. Ballinger, he's going to finish just ahead of Clive in 7th place. Clive closed the gap, but he needed just another lap to do it. 0.6 of a second back as they come across the line. And that is all of the lead lap runners across. We might just have a few stragglers coming across the line now as well.
It was good to see that a lot of these guys that had managed to avoid the big smash-ups at the start of the race being rewarded for or being rewarded with good results for keeping out of the carnage.
Being the last of the few runners to go across the line before we give you the final standings. Colin, having I think he was trying to get a bit of a drift going on or something like that. He's actually coming into the pits, so looks like he might be done. Lance, the lap down. Where is he spinning? I'm pretty sure he's finished as well. Pat's finished. Yeah, everybody's just about crossed the line now. Ryan's going back around for another lap, so that's everything, I think. Conrad, do you want to take us through the final results?
Yeah, we've got Sebastian Job in the Apex Racing UK car taking the win, and then with one of the most ridiculous names for a racing team I've ever seen in my life. Team Cheese and Wine with John Broadmeadow, driving everything but cheese and wine, coming in 2nd place, and we had Marcus Hamilton coming in 3rd after an accident very, very early on. Managed to work his way up from 15th all the way back up to 3rd. And then the guys from KRF ATS Motorsports coming in 4th place. Excelsior Racing Team running up the top 5. FRT Hawkers International, they had a sort of went about their business in a very quiet way through the race, and they managed to bag themselves 6th place. TD Racing, the TD Racing BMW, the 747 car, coming in 7th place. Clive Lawrence and Apex Racing TV car coming in 8th. The 2nd TD Racing BMW coming in 9th place. And then another TD Racing BMW coming in 10th place. A good day for those guys. And 11th place, the KRF Aloha Motorsports car. Warren Landman in the Springbok Motorsports car coming up in 12th place. And the boys with the Apex Racing Academy in the Z4 came in 13th. The 4th TD Racing BMW in 14th place. Bosra 15th. The guys from Inside Line Racing in 16th place. The KRF Motorsports car in 17th. Forex Racing 18th. FRT Hawk is 19th. The Forex Racing car, the blue version, in 20th. And then from there on, that was the last of the runners, and we had 4 or 5 cars that didn't finish. And a special shout out to our kitty car, which was running at the end, albeit 44 laps down, came in a very credible 23rd place.
Not last though, that's the thing.
I think he was putting in laps just to avoid that.
Yeah, actually those last couple of laps he put in moved him up a place by the looks of it as well, so yeah, always cunning there in that kiddie car. We've got got Zach waiting down for an interview. By all means, guys, if you want to have a quick chat, we'll be on air for another 5 minutes or so. So jump up into the Ready for Interview channel. If you don't know our TeamSpeak details, let me see if I can quickly post them in the chat. Be able to just quickly do that. I'm hoping one of the guys will beat me to it, actually. Let me see. No, I'm just about there. Yep, there we go. They're in the that's in the chat right now. Just jump in the Ready for Interview. We'll have a quick chat with you. But what we'll do is we'll quickly bring Zach up. Hi Zach, well done mate. Great race, 3 hours, very long for you out there, all on your own. But you must be happy with that result.
Yeah, extremely happy. Spent a lot of time actually. This is a setup we used for SEK race back in the start of the season, so I spent a lot of time trying to make it work here because of the bumps going through the oval and stuff. It gets a little bit hairy.
4th place, I mean, sort of the race ebbed and flowed all over the place really. Big couple of crashes at the start really shook it apart, but you were sort of able just to avoid that incident. Well, I think it was about lap 5. I think you had to check up something crazy, if my memory remind me correctly of the replay, but you managed to stay clean there.
Yeah, actually my teammate Lance was right in front of me and he started screaming on the radio that there was a big accident, started checking up, and I had no idea where to go, so I just kind of hit the brakes and hoped I didn't spin. I ended up getting involved a little bit. I think I tapped the front of Cam's car, but other than that I didn't really get much damage and was able to continue on.
Obviously, 3-hour race, how difficult is it to keep your concentration for the whole race there?
Pretty difficult. I actually think I was singing at one point in my head. It's incredibly hard, especially when you're looking at a TV screen, because it's so mesmerizing, and it's hard to keep concentration on what you're doing and not hit anything, basically.
And just want to give us a quick shout out for the team sponsors and anyone else you want to thank?
Well, I really want to thank Mr. Mark Noble and Chemmutual Fencing. Getting the team together, it's an awesome team. I love to be a part of it, and I hope it continues for a long time. Adelaide Tarp Specialists, because the car looks brilliant, and it's just really fun time having them on board and being able to sponsor our car. BAM Motorsports and everyone else, it's awesome.
Great, thanks Zach. Congratulations again mate on your 4th place, great drive, and yeah, hopefully we see you again in some of our future events.
Yeah, hopefully so. Thanks guys, see you later.
Cheers mate.
I'm
Right.
not sure if there's anybody still waiting.
They're all chicken, aren't they? If you notice how Seb jumped out of the channel as fast as he possibly could, that man hates interviews, and I think he knew I was going to drag him up as well.
I see Mr. Broadmeadows disappeared as well.
Yeah, none of them want
But,
to have interviews. That, and a lot of them want to go back and watch the Le Mans 24-hour race as well. So I thank everybody who tuned in and watched that race live, and everybody who was jumping in on the comments and things like that as well. So when that event's going on. So, but I need to thank you the most, Conrad, for setting up this event, and congratulations on getting over £500 for the charity.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I couldn't have done it without the support of everybody involved. And with that said, I've had a little quick opportunity to have a little look to see who would get the Kleenex award. You're not going to believe this. There is someone who went unscathed through the rampant kitty car. And that was the TD Racing BMW that came in 9th place with Mr. Colin Schweck at the wheel. He managed to get through that entire race, picking up only 3 incident points.
Ah, awesome job. 3 incidents in a 3-hour race. That's pretty impressive going. So,
and a quick shout out. I think coming in, in terms of incidents, coming in 2nd place, definitely going to throw $5 his way as well, is Mr. Jason De Vries. We know he took a big hit.
Yeah.
And that would have been 4 incident points right there. He finished the race with only 5 on the board.
Jeez, that's impressive. So one other incident apart from that car contact. Wow. Yeah. Fully
So
deserved
for,
as well.
Yeah, for those two guys, I'll get in touch and we'll $5 not much, but I assume every little helps.
Well, one question that has quickly popped in as well. Who had the most?
I think I don't even need to look any further for that. If you give me 10 seconds, I'm just gonna close down the race session and get the results up. But I think we all know what the answer is going to be for to that question.
I want to know how many he had, really, that was all. Everybody just better watch themselves next time they're around that car.
Well, it's certainly a good way to create a barrier around yourself for future races, isn't it? I'm just waiting for these results to pop up and I can have a quick look. But yeah, that was a very, very enjoyable race. I really enjoyed it. Where's the Hello Kitty car? Yeah, it was without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Kitty car that picked up the most incidents in that race, with 63, and that's about at least twice as much as anybody else in that race. And considering he only completed 21 laps, that's pretty impressive.
Awesome. Right, well, on that note, yeah, once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, everybody for donating. Conrad, you for putting on the event and doing all the organisation of that. And yeah, just big thanks to everybody again once involved. Thanks for tuning in. Apex Racing TV signing off. We'll be back again. I'm sure we'll do another charity event next year. But yeah, what a huge success, and over £500 raised for charity. And once again, just huge thank you to everybody. And yeah, we'll see you again in the future. Tune in. Don't forget to subscribe. Do all that goodness for us as well. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you again.